better watch out if your enemy's a road ahead of full prophecy to be the greatest beast the world has ever seen. I feed him every day like the bones clean. I feed him all the hate and he grows me, and he gets claws real big, pissed off quick, and if you cross him you might drop dead. Metaphorically, of course, settling the score, never getting bored, loves the blood and gore, always wanting more, feeding from the source. They don't really understand until they feel the force departed. If you start shit, you'll be heartless in the darkness, torn apart quick, you left scars ripped, you'll be chewed up and discarded. And this world ain't right, won't accept it. Negative energy, I expect it. Once it's in your mind, it's infectious. So fight for your life and reject it. You better give me space, I'm protective. My adrenaline spikes when I'm threatened. And if you stay in my way, I'm aggressive. Cause when there's no exit, I'll kill when I'm desperate. Adrenaline pressure, it's stormy weather, lightning, thunder, pouring weather. Yo, I'm a go-getter, try to do it like me, but I do it better. I got a mind that's clever, the beast inside is competitive as ever. I'm conscious, my subconscious, an accomplice to me. I promise the darkness, I can honest believe. But don't cross me, I might lose control of the lost beast. He's locked away inside with the key control by fight or flight. And this world ain't right, won't accept it. Negative energy, I expect it. Once it's in your mind, it's infectious. So fight for your life and reject it. You better give me space, I'm protective. My adrenaline spikes when I'm threatened. And if you stay in my way, I'm aggressive. Cause when there's no exit, I'll kill when I'm desperate. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. go, 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 still go, 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 slow, go, still go, 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 still go, I never ran, so no, no, still go.
Man, I guess the broads were doing something right the whole time. We didn't have a boring intro. I guess the boys had to step it up, huh? Anyway, last song, you know what that means. Grab your snacks, grab your drinks, and grab anything else that you need. Maybe a little smoky smoke. We don't do boring things here. Huh?
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, doing no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad,
Yeah.
baby, I'm bad.
I just wanna stay bad, stay mad, chip on my shoulder cause they treat me like an outcast. I ain't gonna take that, stay back, I'll be swinging hard till the hits come in all caps. I ain't gonna lay back, pray that someone's gonna help me, ain't nobody like that. I ain't gonna wait, that's all fact, give me one shot and I'll never get the throne back. I'm sick of being cautious, I'ma go cause something, can't stop this. I'ma steal everybody's lane, call it shoplift. Sick of hearing everyone complain when they thoughtless. Taste the pain, it's like candy canes. It makes me go change into a better frame, into a better name. Society's insane, we all live for fame, yeah. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad. I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad. I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, I'll live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad.
What is up, everybody? How are y'all doing today? Oh, things are just falling. My God. Okay. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Are we doing good? Yes, no, maybe. What's up, Curse Cassandra? Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. Oh, that's good, Spectre. Good for you. Yeah, man, you got to push out the content. That way you can get noticed and hopefully you'll hit the algorithm with something. Eating some noodles. I just got finished eating mini corn dogs. I love mini corn dogs. I can't help it. Jada Take, I'm ready to talk shit. Let's go. Well, as you can tell by the thumbnail, today we are going to be talking about my all-time favorite female misogynist. I do love me some pearly things. Oh, speaking of pearly things, I got something to show y'all. Hold on. One moment. Hold on. I want to show y'all something. Because I promised it was coming out. Give me a second. As soon as I can find it. Alright. Okay, you know what? It will be easier if I do it this way. Hold on. Alright, so we all know how Just Pearly Things is selling t-shirts that say women shouldn't vote. Well, I came out with my own t-shirts, which I don't know where the t-shirt is. Oh wait, there it is. Oh, there it is, right there. I made t-shirt that says women should vote, just not pearly things. So there is new merch out. And of course, Period Point Blank came out also. I did those yesterday. And I did the women should vote today. Because you know what? If she can sell t-shirts saying women shouldn't vote, I get to sell t-shirts that say women should vote, just not pearly things. So, that's on that. Just saying. We're not regressing. How are we regressing, Spectre? We are not regressing. Listen, people in the red pill don't even buy her shit. Okay? Alright. Hold on, I gotta find the video. I was watching it. Oh my god, Jay Aubrey did so good on this video. Jay Aubrey did amazing. Okay, put a 1 in the chat if you've actually watched the Jay Aubrey video on Just Pearly Things. Thank you, K-Huck. Spectre, there have been people like her since the dawn of time. Just because it's on the internet, it doesn't mean it's any lesser anymore. There have been people like her since the dawn of time. Thank you, Jay to Take. 1. Beowulf put 2. Not yet? Okay, so that's what we're going to be watching today. Alright, now, put a 1 in the chat if you are ready to start. Ready to get started with this. The video is an hour and a half long. I'm going to try 1.5 and see how well that works. Jay Aubrey kind of talks fast, so it might be too fast for my ADHD brain to deal with, so... Alright, let's do it. Let's do it. Oh, wait. I forgot to fix my screen since the Cabal meeting. Hold on. Hold on. Gotta fix the screen. No, that'd be a little bit too much. Alright. Alright, let's go.
Right, well, you've been called the female Andrew Tate. How do you plead?
Well, I take it as a compliment. People think I'm insane because I don't think women should vote. I had this realization. The men are
Yeah, that's too fast. Hold on. Let's go to 1.25. Alright.
smarter and better at everything. Women have been told what we want to hear our whole lives. From a historical perspective, women are pretty bad.
The unpickable pick-me. It's the damn truth. What's up, maggot?
90% of women have gone for 2.5 is over 5. So I understand the complaint.
That intro was fire. That intro was fire.
When you search the word pearl on Google, you get the definition of a small, glistening sphere formed within the crystalline shell of an oyster, highly regarded for its beauty and rarity as a jewel. But if you search pearl on YouTube, you get this.
What up, guys? Welcome to the Just Pearly Things YouTube channel. Today, I want to talk about why women are dumb. How women realize that the only way we can be great at things is under the authority of a man.
Oh my God. Oh, Just Pearly Things, bless her heart. She's a grifter, y'all. She's a grifter. She's a 1,000% a grifter. And Jay Aubrey does an amazing job on showing you how.
Pearly Things is a 26-year-old YouTuber, TikToker, and social commentator with a knack for anti-Semitism who isn't afraid to give her opinion on the appearances of teenage girls, all in an effort to promote the red pill, a community I pray will one day fade into deep obscurity.
My husband's texting me. He wanted me to tell you that we will have our daughter ready for you as a virgin.
These influencers, alongside Pearl, can be recently seen advocating against the 19th Amendment.
I don't think women should know. Huh? I don't think women should know.
Lord Jesus, keep on going.
Making bold claims about what women really want.
I swear to God, this show has made me believe I think women like to be cheated on.
And pushing to criminalize a person's legal option to get divorced.
Oh, actually, I think we should ban divorce too. Yeah, I think that should be banned. Yes.
Okay, well...
It's ridiculous when Ethan Klein owns your ass. It's sad when Ethan Klein owns your ass in a debate. Or even in a conversation. Literally. How sad is that? If it's not about, like, fair use and copyright, which, yeah, he's the authority on, okay? Fair use, copyright, he knows it, he understands it. But in a basic conversation, it is sad when you get owned by Ethan motherfucking Klein. Period.
But that's a little bit silly. You have to acknowledge that, right?
No.
Something you'll hear these people often espouse is that women are expected to adhere to a very strict set of arbitrary guidelines in order to be considered desirable or high value. This is a notion Pearl subscribes to as well. Only the difference between Pearl and her contemporaries is that she, if you haven't noticed, is a woman. A token of femininity floating across a vast sea of testosterone, yearning desperately for a crumb of credibility, even if it means existing only to attack and demean her own group. Which is a long way of saying Pearl isn't like the other girls.
Okay. And I would like to say, I'm going to go ahead and say it now, and I'm not going to wait till the end. I find it funny when I started covering Pearl, okay? And I would quote tweet her and say this and say that. Everybody was like, Xylie, you should ignore her. She just wants attention. She blah, blah, blah. Same thing they said to me about Andrew Tate. What did they tell me about Andrew Tate? Oh, it's a meme. He's not serious. Blah, blah, blah. And look what happened to him. Same thing with Just Pearly Things. It's a meme. She's not serious. There's no way she's serious. And now everybody's on Just Pearly Things. It was done here first, folks. It was done here first, folks. I've been screaming into the void about Just Pearly Things, just like I was screaming into the void about Andrew Tate. Just saying. Just throwing it out there. Throwing it out there. But I will say this, and I said this in the tweet. I'm glad bigger creators are talking about Just Pearly Things because I can only do so much with my small platform. Because I don't get the views and I don't get, I don't have as many eyes on me. So I'm glad bigger creators are finally talking about her. I am. And I'm grateful.
Because she's worse.
And let's just be honest, we're basically like big kids, right? That can just be propagated and like you can push us to do things.
By feeding into the delusions and biases of the most annoying people on the planet, Pearl gets to go viral on Twitter, book primetime television interviews, sell painfully uncreative merch, and produce some of the laziest, most unedited content I've seen in my life.
Maybe you guys...
Dead air, dead air, dead air, dead air. Jessica's dead air, dead air, dead air, dead air. Oh, God, no, I can't do it. I can't sit here, do that.
I can't find it.
Maybe.
That was so awkward. There was no way I was just going to let that play out. Oh, yeah, she's a mouth breather. FYI. She's a mouth breather.
She genuinely sees her work as an act of good. Or maybe it's possible that Pearl is only doing all of this to feel a sense of pride and acceptance that she herself has never received. Because believe it or not, Pearl wasn't always like this. Before all the hate and desperation that plagues her image today, Pearl's life actually seemed far less polarizing just a couple years ago.
Hey guys, today I am here with my sister Eva, and she is going to give a chicken coop tour. I don't need no validation. I don't need no validation.
You don't need no validation.
Except from TikTok. Ah! A lot of you guys have been asking questions. So I kind of ended up being like a full-time TikTok, like YouTuber by accident.
I can't actually show you any of Pearl's original TikToks because her first account was banned, along with her second account, her third account, her fourth, fifth, yeah.
I can tell you now it wasn't red pill content. Her original content was not red pill content. But she realized very quickly that's where the money's at.
You get it, Pearl gets banned a lot.
2 years of work, 930,000 followers, and I have been officially banned. I got banned off of TikTok. I got banned. They banned account number 3, but you can't get rid of me, baby. Yeah. You can't get rid of me, baby. Account number 4. I still got banned. Free JustPearlyThings. Give me my account back.
In fact, Pearl is now on her 8th TikTok attempt, at least at the time of me recording this. Maybe when this vid finally comes out, she'll be on her 9th. I mean, God knows it wouldn't be surprising. But as sad as I am to be missing out on what I'm sure is some valuable content.
So I said, you're a whale. You're a whale. You're a whale. You could say maybe the whale was too far, but she was a bigger woman.
We can still get a good idea.
I know this big bitch ain't calling somebody a whale. You're a Sasquatch. You want to call somebody a whale? Let's be honest, bitch. You a Sasquatch. You big as hell at 6'1". Just saying. You want to call somebody a whale? Okay, then you know what? Then, listen, I'm not one to body shame. Don't get me wrong, all right? I hate that body shaming shit. I hate getting on people for being overweight. I hate that shit. Especially when I used to be over 300 pounds. But if you want to play that game, you a motherfucking Sasquatch. You 6'1", bitch.
Of what Pearl was like in 2020 by turning over to her YouTube channel, where she's attained close to 2 million subscribers and over 900 million total views just over the past 2 years. Of course, most of those views aren't totally meaningful considering they're from YouTube Shorts, which rarely translate over to active subscribers or substantial ad revenue, but we'll discuss all that in a bit. It's true that Pearl owes much of her notoriety to the likes of Andrew Tate and Fresh and Fit, who she has collaborated with on a number of occasions during her tenure in the Red Pill community, podcasting alongside inebriated sex workers, sex traffickers, and Nazis.
Welcome, Nick Fuentes.
But when we look back on some of her earliest uploads, we can see Pearl was actually once pretty far removed from the characters who make up the manosphere. In fact, I doubt she even knew who any of them were back when she was making things like My First Vlog, A Trip to Florida, Chicken Coop Tour, wrong spelling, and Mansion House Tour, 10 bedrooms.
Okay, so I'm gonna see the front of the house.
See, Pearl...
Yeah, that's the house she grew up in. 10 fucking bedrooms. Mansion. Yeah, she knows what the average man wants and needs. She sure does.
Herself comes from a very wealthy, sheltered background in Chicago, with both of her parents, Dan and Jennifer Davis, being quite accomplished software engineers in their own right. Jennifer being listed as the former CEO of Davisware, a multi-million-dollar company the couple founded together. She's now the CEO of
Amber Chick, been with me for 25 months. With, I guess that's 25 middle fingers. Happy anniversary month. Happy anniversary, Amber Chick. Hell yeah. I still need to change that X. Because I just don't like the 2-year X. I'm going to have to change that.
Of another organization she founded, Be Exponential, which is described as an online community seeking to provide tangible and realistic advice to women and mothers specifically in navigating parenthood or life as a whole. Their website also mentions that Be Exponential was built by women for women, which is an interesting footnote considering the kind of things Pearl has been known to advocate for as of recent. For instance, Pearl believes men solely built society by themselves. Therefore, it must be impossible for women to be oppressed because the men have already solved everything.
Oh, God. Pearl literally just says things. She literally just says things for her audience. Like, she puts no thought into anything she says. She literally just spews shit out of her mouth just to get her man-hating audience to go, yeah, girl, you're right. Women bad. Literally. That's exactly what she does. Pearl is literally someone who acts like she can go after women. Honestly, Pearl doesn't know what she's talking about majority of the time. Exactly, cheerleader. Exactly.
Men built the world for women to just shit on them.
Right.
In the world that they built. They built a society that's safe. There's no wars. We have the police.
CIA for 2, JustPearlyThings is more like Medusa. Actually, no. Medusa... No. Actually, I wouldn't call her Medusa. And I'm going to tell you why. Take the story off to the side and the gory details of the story of Medusa. Medusa is actually known as a fighter, and she is a protector. That's why Medusa's figure would be in front of temples, because Medusa was a protector. So definitely not like Medusa. Definitely not. Plus, Medusa's hot. I mean, hello, hot chick with the half of the body of a snake and snakes on her head. What? Medusa was hot.
Police to protect us. When they talk about women being oppressed, it's wrong. It's not correct.
She doesn't actually believe men and women are equal, as she's very open about this.
I think there's something evil about telling women we're equal to men, because it demasculates the men and it harms the women too, because it takes away the one thing we need, which is guidance. The more
I can't with her. Bro, I cannot even with her.
I think, the more I'm like, gosh, the natural world order has to be men, women, children. Maybe government. I haven't decided. I have to think more about that one. The men we reproduce with must be superior because they create everything important. It doesn't seem like we really do much if we don't follow the natural order of the world.
Okay, Lazy Beast, that's the whole problem with Pearl. With the shit that she says, okay, she is not good for breeding because she is over the age of 25. She's used up because she's not a virgin, so she's not valued to be married. She makes money, which wouldn't work if she got married because women aren't supposed to make money. She is literally quite opposite of everything she preaches. Natanya says she's so insecure. Jay Aubrey hits on that.
And we're left to our own devices, so maybe I'm just a sexist. Are my eyebrows good, guys?
So there's no reason for them to have equal roles in society, I guess. In fact, Pearl believes women tend to do more damage by being in the workforce.
Whenever we take over an industry, we just ruin it. It's so sad. We'll base everything off our feelings and add in HR departments, take away the competitiveness of industries. In the last 100 years, women have really taken over education. And you know what happened when we took over education? Everyone got dumber. Now they have a teacher and a teacher's aide. 2 women cannot teach the way 1 man used to teach. That's how bad it is. That's why I don't think therapy works when they're women. Women are just going to comfort you. They're going to tell you what you want to hear, when men will tell you how to fix it. But the problem is, women, we never want to fix it. Actually fix it.
Yeah, maybe ban women from the police force.
Oh, God. She's so dumb. Oh. You know, I truly believe in men and women being equal. And I mean equal in everything, right? I mean, even down to if they brought back the draft. I think women should have to sign up for the draft to vote. If men have to do it, I think women should do it too. Honestly, they should just get rid of the whole fucking thing and men shouldn't have to sign up for it anyway. But if men have to sign up for it, women should have to sign up for it too. That's the kind of feminist I am. I'm not a feminist that hates women, okay? Because I believe women can genuinely do the same jobs as men. We went through so many years that we were told we can't do it. Hence the reason why I got into being a car mechanic later in life instead of early, because I was told at 18, no, don't do that because you're a girl. Women like her drive me insane. Yes, level playing field means level for everyone. Yes. I think she does, Lazy Beast. I think she does hate herself.
If women's jobs disappeared tomorrow, society would probably be fine. But if men's jobs disappeared,
society would be.
If women's jobs disappeared tomorrow, society would probably be fine. But if men's jobs disappeared tomorrow, it would be rough out there.
Yeah.
That's how stupid she is. Because that would be half of the fucking workforce gone. She is so dumb. She's literally willfully ignorant.
Yet here is her own mom, essentially proving her wrong, having built up a number of successful organizations, written a best-selling book, and still managed to look after and provide.
I guess her mom was wrong then, huh? I guess her mom's not any good at anything. Damn. How do you feel about your daughter talking about you like that?
For 10 children all at once. Though Pearl has also attempted to weirdly diminish her mother's accomplishments and role in the company, insisting she was never the CEO, despite Jennifer's website claiming the opposite. She may have also accidentally admitted to her parents committing fraud, but that's besides the point.
Wasn't your mom the president? Was she the leader of the company?
What was you're researching my family now, huh? They might have titled it one thing or another. They did that to get some grant from the government or something. I don't remember. But.
So, is that a crime?
Yeah, you probably shouldn't say that on air.
The main takeaway here is that Pearl got to experience a lavish childhood as a result of her parents both having high-paying jobs. In fact, one of the times Pearl first blew up was thanks to a TikTok she made about a giant water slide her dad bought her and her siblings. Yeah, some people just live a completely different life than the rest of us. Now I know why she thinks a Lamborghini costs 50 grand. But this was Pearl's first taste of online stardom. A glimpse into a life where she didn't have to work a corporate job with Konica Minolta selling printers, a position she absolutely hated.
It was literally like the worst sales job of my life. Like, I hated it. I hated it so much.
But if she had never sold printers, we never would have gotten these wonderful song parodies she posted to LinkedIn.
We just took a DNA test, turns out we're 100% the best, even when we're going crazy, because we do see problems, that's the human in us. Bling, bling, then we solve them, that's the salesman in us.
I'm starting to see why she hated working there.
True.
Call me on my work phone. All day when you need a printer. Call me on my work phone. All day when you need a printer. And I know when that work phone rings.
Yeah, you know.
She was singing into the. Oh my God, girl, ma'am, no ma'am, no ma'am. No, ma'am.
COVID was a weird time for all of us. I'll just say that.
My name is Pearl from Hanukkah. I'll help you save till I can't no more. We got the printers in the back.
It's still better than her recent music.
Feminism is the worst thing ever. Yeah, we get our money. Yeah, we get our job. Yeah, we dump our high school heartthrob. But then we end up alone on antidepressants. All alone.
Pearl spent much of her
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh God. She knows how to bring the cringe. She definitely knows how to bring in the cringe. Holy shit. Versus like Jesus. Oh, what'd you say before that verse? Hold on. What'd you... Shocker. She wasn't well liked. Bro.
Internet days playing sports, boasting about how she was a 3-sport athlete in college. In fact, her original plan was to join a program that would allow her to move to Europe and play basketball while completing a master's degree, until the program fell through, leaving her more time to post on TikTok. This is how she accidentally became a full-time influencer.
Then the season gets canceled again, so I'm just like kind of left like with no job, no real plan, and just like I don't even know what I'm gonna do next. But I'm gonna take you guys with me. You'll see what happens.
Something that immediately stood out to me when I was first watching these older videos is how differently Pearl carries herself here compared to now. Trading in her Lakers hoodies and sweatpants for more of a trad wife look that these red pill guys go for, maybe? These are all just my own observations, of course, but I can't help but think I'm watching too.
The girl can't even dress herself. Honestly. The girl can't even dress herself. She tries, but oh my God.
Two different people here.
I blew up on TikTok because I was really blessed because my parents just have like really cool stuff. My dad's like nuts, so he bought this like big water slide from a water park, and I just told the story of how the town didn't want him to put him up. I think the women are dumber than the men because I think our emotions just get in the way. We're too emotional. We see a problem, we get emotional about it, where the men can just think.
Maybe she just...
I hate I hate that emotional argument. I cannot stand that emotional argument. Do you know how many men I know that are emotional? That is a people problem. That is not a woman problem. Because just as many men are emotional, guess what? Anger is an emotion. How many men do you see get angry when presented with a problem? That's called fucking emotion. Bro. That is a person problem. That is not a woman problem. Okay? This whole shit about women getting emotional, bitch, men get emotional too. Okay? When they start getting loud and they start screaming because they're angry, guess what? That's an emotion. When they punch a wall, guess what? That's emotion. When they get mad to where they don't say anything and simply walk away, that's emotion. Get the fuck out of here. I hate that emotional argument, bro. I hate it. Men act on emotion too. Men do it just as much. It's just highlighted on women. Which, listen, there's nothing wrong with emotions. There's nothing wrong with emotions. That's what makes us human. There's nothing wrong with that. But to simply state that women run on emotions and men don't is bullshit. Naomi, thank you for being a member for 25 months. I've been quiet, but I'm laughing so hard. I bet you are. Look, I'm an emotional bitch. Okay? We all know I'm an emotional bitch. But you know what? I take in my emotions and I turn it into a fucking superpower. All right? That's why we're hitting 10K by the end of this year. All right? You know why? Because my emotions is my superpower. All right. Now that I'm off my soapbox.
Not as passionate about the stuff she talks about today.
I haven't seen you talk to an actual scholar once. You just talk to kind of random women.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, that's fair to say. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say you talk to feminists, you just mean like random women off the street, not like a
that's
scholar.
Pearl, I wish you'd talk to me. I wish you'd talk to me. Oh my God.
That'd say they're feminists.
I mean, after all, this really isn't her forte. Unlike Andrew Tate, Pearl hasn't quite dedicated decades of her life to misogyny just yet. She only picked it up recently.
When I first started watching Red Pill content, I didn't always like it, guys. They're saying girls are whores, we're fat, and we bring basically nothing to the table nowadays. But the more I listened to the content and really thought about my experience in the world, I couldn't really say that they were wrong.
According to one article I found from 2020, Pearl was first gaining traction on TikTok after just several months of creating her account. Her initial claim to fame being her breakup quiz series, in which she wrote a bunch of questions that viewers could then send to their ex-partners to fill out for Pearl to post publicly. And it was pretty successful too, posting the best answers from a pool of nearly 9,000 submissions, telling Yahoo, I try to post the most appropriate ones. I know there are kids on this app, so the bigger I get, the more I try to keep it PG. Damn, I wonder when she stopped caring about that.
Yeah, I wonder.
If you've only had one partner, but you had 10 abortions, you were a stripper, and you had OnlyFans. Whore, not a whore.
This article, though, also makes sure to note that Pearl herself has yet to send the quiz to anyone in her past, considering she's never actually been in a real relationship. Pearl stating, I actually have not had a boyfriend that was serious enough for me to send it to, hence why I had my followers take it. The only long-term relationship I can think of is a guy I talked to for a couple years in college, which in itself is totally fine and normal. Everyone moves at their own pace, and there's no shame in dating later in life, except Pearl might slightly disagree.
Just because you're 35 and you're single doesn't mean you'll be single at 40, at 60, at 70.
Well, but the problem is at 35, you've lost all the things that men value. That's the problem, because men value femininity, fertility, and they value youth.
So you're not feminine past the age of 35. Please explain to me how your femininity goes away at 35 years old. I need someone to explain that to me. All right, and what else do they value?
That men value. That's the problem, because men value femininity, fertility.
Guess what? Normally at 35 years old, you're still fertile, because guess what? Women are having kids up to like the age of 50.
and they value youth. So you can't say you're youthful when you're almost halfway through your life. Like, you can't say you're fertile.
Fuck you. 45 is the new 35, okay? Mentally, I am still in my 30s, okay? Kiss my ass. I'll still beat you up, even though you're like 20 years younger than me. I'd win.
When you're about to have geriatric pregnancy. So it's like, and you look worse than you did at 25, right? So the way you're thinking is like a woman.
Not to mention, it's almost been 3 years since this article was published, and to my knowledge, Pearl still has yet to be in an actual long-term relationship. Though there was the time she briefly dated the angry TikTok reaction guy, not for very long. Her ex-best friend of 22 years, Emily, says that despite her brief time with angry reactions, Pearl has still never had a serious relationship.
Have you ever been engaged?
No, never. And she's never even been in a serious relationship. Like, honest to God, her and Wanye, like, that wasn't even that doesn't even count at all, because what was that?
And that's where we run into a bit of a problem. Pearl, as someone who...
She got catfished. She got catfished.
Who has evidently never been married, never been engaged, never even held down a boyfriend longer than a few months, still somehow has the nerve to tell other women what to do in their relationships. Publicly. It's her job to do that. A huge part of her brand relies on judging other people's marriages from afar. Pearl likes the idea of being married. She wants a family someday and wants to have kids. But does that by itself mean she's a reliable source on how a marriage needs to work? What exactly gives her the right to tell others how they're doing things wrong when she herself hasn't even experienced a relationship the way she thinks she wants it? Pearl's relationship advice might as well be completely fucking discarded, even by her own metric.
I've noticed a lot of therapists are like older single women, and I'm kind of like, if you can't maintain a relationship, why would I take advice from you? This is just something I've noticed. Yeah, like, why would I take advice from you if you can't maintain a relationship?
Then why are we taking advice from you? You're over the age of 25, you're not married, you're not a virgin, and you make your own money, and you're not submissive to any man. So why would we take advice from you from the bullshit that you spew? Why would we? Pot, meat, kettle. Pot, meat, kettle. Why would anybody take any kind of advice from you? You're not the feminine woman that women need to be. You don't look feminine at all. Your posture alone, the way you stand, isn't even feminine. The way you dress looks like you're trying to role play as feminine, according to your standards. You can't even brush your hair properly, which isn't very feminine, according to your standards. Put a 1 in the chat if you think I'm wrong. If you disagree with what I'm saying, put a 1 in the chat. Put a 2 in the chat if you agree with me. Because I know she is out here spewing all this shit and she can't even live up to it. Thank you. That's what I thought. Anywho.
As Pearl continued to solidify her position in the dating community on TikTok, she eventually discovered a man named Kevin Samuels, another influencer who rose to prominence around this time for his videos on relationships, which were a tad bit...
Okay, one thing that I truly appreciate about Jay Aubrey actually touches how she was part of the Black manosphere, okay? When Kevin Samuels passed away, she practically took Kevin Samuels' position in that community over there. Amazing, I know. It's like, wow, really? But she literally practically took his position when he passed away. And she paid for that shit when she did the dumbest shit known to man. I cannot believe she did what she did, but he'll explain it. Because a lot of people don't touch this part of where she came from when it was to the manosphere.
On the controversial side.
But if you have made it to 35 years old and you're unmarried, you are a leftover woman.
It's cheating when you do it. You're cheating. We don't. We just have sex. Women like you die alone.
Okay, maybe a lot bit on the controversial.
And that is something that I've heard Myron from Fresh and Fit say. I've heard JustPearlyThings say it. Women cheat, men just have sex. I'ma tell you what.
Controversial side. But this is who introduced Pearl to the red pill, name dropping him in a video for the first time in 2021, where she discussed several of his beliefs, specifically his philosophy on cheating.
People cheat, right? Obviously, if you have more opportunities, you But it's just weird to me because when I grew up, like, my dad was never like that.
See, a lot of this stuff was extremely foreign to Pearl, given that her dad never fit the mold Kevin Samuels often talked about in referencing men. Her dad never drank, never smoked, never cheated, so this kind of rhetoric coming from the manosphere was like a glimpse into a whole new world, one that Pearl was clearly willing to explore. This video in particular may seem from the title that she's challenging Kevin's beliefs, but she more so just kind of says a bunch of words for 5 minutes.
I think a lot of people cheat.
That's all she does is say a bunch of words. Her words literally have no meaning. Her words literally have no meaning whatsoever.
Because of like situations that they put themselves in. So I don't know if that's like a disagreement or what.
In my notes for this one, I just wrote down, "Goddamn, she rambles. She doesn't even make much of a point here, LMAO."
Does that make sense? I don't know if it makes sense. I'm half paying attention to driving, half paying attention to you guys.
To further acquaint herself with this community, she very much began consuming as much of their content as she could, listening to their arguments and regurgitating their talking points on her own platforms.
Okay, fourth thing I've learned from the manosphere, and I'm not going to talk about if this is true or not true. Women are always willing to leave you for a better option. Women today are less marriageable than ever before. Like, women can and will take all of your money. Women will do things like withhold sex if they don't do like chores or something.
She was so excited.
And that's when it started. That's when it started. That's when she started regurgitating everything.
To share what she had learned, in fact, that she even brought her family into the mix, which had some varying results.
Today, I have a special guest on the channel, my little sister, Amelia. She's super excited to be here. I'm going to be showing her some of Kevin Samuels' savage moments because she was not willing to sit down for a full clip, so.
Yeah, her sister does not give even a single fuck. Just please let her go.
Do you think women get upset at men a lot? Depends. Do you think they say things like men are trash a lot? Do you think that's okay?
Sometimes.
Really?
Depends on the guy you're talking about.
Ninja, you cannot fix her. I hate to tell you this, Ninja. You cannot fix her. There is no fixing this woman. None whatsoever.
You think, but in general, do you think that's okay? Like, men are trash, like, just in general?
I don't know. I don't really have an opinion on that kind of stuff.
I mean, sitting your 13-year-old sister down in front of a laptop and forcing her to watch Fresh and Fit is bad enough.
They're kind of players a little bit. You ready? Stop looking like I'm torturing you.
Why the hell are you going to pay full price for a goddamn car that's been used? If I'm going to invest into you, I need to know you are not used, man.
What does your YouTube feed look like on a daily basis?
It literally looks like this stuff. It's like men's dating advice.
You are so single.
Period. Little sister clocked her. Little sister clocked her. You are so single. She clocked her.
Someone had to say it.
But why are you also exposing her to the repulsion that is your community? I mean, these comments are insane. She has no life in her. She's gonna do hard drugs when she gets older. She for sure is not attracting anyone in life. She will die alone. I'm not sure if she's strictly heterosexual. Your sister is clueless. Like, no man, she's just a teenager who doesn't want to watch Kevin Samuels videos at 2 in the morning. Is that so unreasonable?
So that was Kevin Samuels. What did you think? Did you think what he said was true or false?
I don't know.
If I tried showing my little sister some of Pearl's videos, I think she'd deck me in the face.
I prefer Kevin Samuels.
I'm gonna be honest with you. After watching this video, because I was thinking maybe she was raised this way. I don't think she was. Just by hearing how the little sister thinks, I don't think, and seeing how the mother worked and did what she did, I don't think Pearl was raised this way. I really don't. That's why I honestly believe she's grifting.
Samuels depression bit.
I prefer Minecraft YouTubers.
Watching Pearl try to get regular people on board with her new belief system is truly a sight to behold.
A girl will only love a guy like that's like the best she can get. But if she has a better option, like that makes more money, is more attractive, is like just a better all-around option, she'll leave her current like boyfriend or husband for them. Oh.
I mean, just here you can tell her friend isn't nearly as invested in this conversation as Pearl is.
Basically, the candy store analogy is like sex is candy, and girls get it right away. But most guys, you don't have access to sex till their late 20s, early 30s. Okay. So if you get married like before that, they think that like girls should put up with cheating, basically. Yeah, I know. Because like it's not fair to the guys, because like now at 35 they finally put out their money right. They got to the gym for 5 years, did all this stuff. Now they get to have sex with a lot of people. So why would they only settle for one?
That's bro. I don't understand. I do not understand how she has come up with these conclusions and how she thought that was okay. I wish I could explain it to you. That's why I honestly believe it's a grift.
Well, then why did they get married?
Come on, candy store analogy? If you tried saying that to any person who doesn't frequent incel forums on 4chan, you're gonna sound insane. When you have to keep telling your friend not to read any of what the chat is saying on your own live stream, you know you're cultivating a really awesome fan base.
You can't read the comments. Yeah, you can't read the comments too. Like, you can't.
Which of course has only gotten better with time. 73% of these people don't think gay people should adopt. 76% think trans people should be institutionalized. I mean, what the fuck are these questions?
That's red pill. That's the red pill audience right there. That is the red pill audience.
Pearl. It's no surprise that when you confront someone in the real world with these kinds of talking points, you don't get much of a positive response.
Are women really that smart? Oh, you think we're equal? I think the men are smarter.
Hell, Pearl has lost lifelong friendships over these takes. Her ex-best friend we mentioned earlier, Emily, being amongst the most vocal after Pearl publicly lied about her being too fat to get pregnant.
So Hannah and I were friends from 2002, pre-K, until last year when I stopped being friends with her. So in the beginning of her video, she's talking about our last conversation we had a year ago in March, where I confronted her about talking about women's bodies and their weight and all that cuckoo bird shit she talks about. And I was like, are you okay? Are you okay?
No, she wasn't. No, she wasn't okay. She absolutely was not okay.
And no, she defended it all. So I was like, okay, we're done. I'm sorry.
Ninja, I don't think she's trolling. I think she's literally grifting because Red Pill has a lot of money. When she does live streams, she gets a lot of donations. There's a lot of money in Red Pill, because they are big about men making money and flashing it around. And one way the men who watch her flash that money is through super chats. It's ridiculous.
I mean, these two were close friends. There's no disputing it. Pearl is deluding herself to the point that it's affecting her personal life. Just like how Sneeko's family didn't invite him to Christmas on account of his batshit opinions.
I mean, if Sneeko was your child, would you? Just saying.
You know that this is the first year.
Oh, I think it's 100% money. I mean, it's desperation for the money. It's all about money. It's all about money. You'll see.
I'm not going home for Christmas. They don't. I have a blue hair woke family, kind of like you, and they don't fuck with my politics at all.
I mean, it doesn't take a blue hair people to not want to fuck with your politics. Like
It's never got to the point where I've been like uninvited for Christmas.
I hate to break it to you, but normal people don't give so much of a shit about chronically online manosphere garbage, like whether or not women should give back their rights. In reality, these conversations are so inherently ridiculous and inconsequential compared to what the average American is dealing with. We're living in a country where 30 million people are without health insurance. Millions of already employed people are having to work multiple jobs just to put food on the table. Almost half the population can't even afford a decent home. I mean, you see how these
Preach. Preach. Preach it.
conversations Pearl wants to have are kind of silly. I get the irony of me sitting here making a video on her, but my brain is broken. So of course I'll indulge her arguments a little bit. I just want to be sure that we're keeping this whole mess in perspective, at least. Like, man, people are just trying to make it through the day. The last thing anyone wants to do is listen to JustPearlyThings tell them what age disqualifies women from finding a partner. Who cares? Also, asking this person about age probably isn't the best idea.
Oh, she deleted that tweet. 16-year-old chicks are hotter than 26-year-old chicks. She deleted that tweet so fast. Oh my God, we were all quote tweeting her going, Pearl, what are you saying? What are you saying, Pearl? Now, you have to understand she's living over there in the UK, all right? She says some stupid shit out of her Twitter fingers. And this was one of the dumbest things she ever said. She deleted it, I would say, within a good 15 minutes.
Yeah. What the fuck was she cooking here?
Not that it's literally any excuse that she's doing this, because what she is doing, I can't even put into words how disgusting it is. But I've known her since 2002. I do not think she thinks that way. If she does, fuck her all over again. I don't care. But I don't think she does. I think she does it to rev people up and to get more views and to get more money. So all that to say, I'm curious.
And that's the girl that knows her. That's the girl that has known her for 20 years.
To see, once she does find a husband and find a man, is she going to keep this act up? Because is she going to find somebody that shares these exact views with her? Or is she going to meet someone and be like, okay, I don't actually think this way?
According to both Emily and...
Ninja style for $1.99. Never mind, can't fix her. I told you can't fix her. I tried to warn you. You can't fix her.
And angry reactions at Pearl's bizarre obsession with churning out the most mind-numbing takes imaginable seem to happen overnight.
Because a lot of people be in my comments be like, she had to have been like this when y'all was dating. Bro, no, she wasn't at all. She was not like this, bro.
I mean, we know she used to be normal-ish. What happened then? How do you go from making such innocuous vlogs with your family to outright pandering to the lowest form of men on Twitter with no shame? Well, without making any unreasonable assumptions here, we know from Emily that Pearl has been consistently fixated on finding a boyfriend in the past, staying up late into the night, and poring over all the numbers and information she could possibly find in hopes of finally attaining a high-value man of her liking.
It's honestly like sad because she was always trying to figure out what could she do to get a husband. I always told her that she did too much research. She was always online, like looking up relationship facts and stuff like that, and she would be up late, like doing it. And I'm like, just stop. Yeah, just stop doing that. Like, let's just naturally look for a man.
Which again is fine. Everyone deserves to find love. Except I don't know how she expects to do it when this is how she advertises herself to the public. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend I know exactly why she pivoted so hard to red pill content. We simply don't know the definitive reason as to why she's so susceptible to the manosphere. And oh wait, there is a reason, and she said it herself? Oh, okay.
Or even girls, they'll ask me like, how can you listen to this man? And I have one answer for you. Low self-esteem.
Yeah.
Boom! Boom! Low self-esteem. So, I already have low self-esteem in myself, so it ain't gonna be shit about, because listen, alright, let's be honest. Alright, a lot of women, or a lot of girls, alright, younger women, okay, they're always about that, I'm not like other girls. And you'll see a lot of them not get along with other women, okay? Because women are taught since birth that other women are competition, all right? That's that whole internal misogyny thing, blah, 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 whatever, right? It boils down to low self-esteem. If you can't get along with another woman simply because she's a woman, that's low self-esteem. She has low self-esteem. You can tell by the way she literally carries herself. Her posture tells you she has low self-esteem. Not brushing her hair properly tells you she has low self-esteem. She has low self-esteem when it comes to how she dresses. I've seen people go under her tweets and say, oh my God, I could give you a makeover and I could help you with clothes. And she'll go right under them going, oh, well, you can contact me here, this, that, and the other. She has low self-esteem. She absolutely does. So you know what? She might as well cash in on it. Brittany Venti was very tactical on how she got Pearly Things. Very tactical. Brittany Venti got her good. She did a damn good job.
That's real. Her answer to the question, why do you listen to this sexist trash, basically boils down to, oh, it's because I hate myself.
From a young age, I haven't thought highly of myself. I never thought that I deserved a lot, to be honest. I never thought of myself as a queen. And I never thought of myself super highly. I'm gonna just be honest here. From a young age, I was what you call humbled. Okay, most of my friends, right, were generally like more attractive than me. I was never the hot friend. Most guys, even the average guys, they would ask me about my friend first. And if that didn't work out, then they would come crawling to me. So, yeah, I would say low self-esteem. That's the main one. And yeah, being humbled. That's why I can listen to manosphere content.
This to me.
There you go. There you go.
Is an extremely telling moment, if not a pretty sad one. It reveals how Pearl truly sees herself, and how all the hate and misogyny that the manosphere offers actually confirms all the loathing Pearl has always reserved for herself deep down, which I honestly can't help but pity. When you view yourself with such a little regard as a person, and accept that this must be just who you are, your life becomes so one-dimensional and boring. I mean, who wants that for themselves? This all may sound harsh, but it is so hard to talk about Pearl's content without also seeing how deeply intertwined it is with her own self-image. Her entire persona screams insecurity and desperation, to the point where she she has been widely coined a pick-me girl by just about everyone. And you can't blame them because being a pick-me is in the very nature of the character she portrays.
Yes. Yes. That right there, that sentence right there is 100% true.
Screams insecurity and desperation to the point where she has been widely coined a pick-me girl by just about everyone. And you can't blame them because being a pick-me is in the very nature of the character she portrays.
Yes. 100%. 100%. She is like literally the ultimate pick-me.
Permission? I want to give him permission, but if I chose to go down the path of high value man, I would know that it's a possibility, and I don't think I would want to ruin an entire family over that.
I was super in love, and I had children with a man, and I was really, really in love with him. He was a good man overall. I think I'd be lying if I'd say that I couldn't get over it. We should try to give men grace. I think that's part of relationships. That's part of life.
Like, I think if a woman cheats, she's trying to leave you. If a man cheats,
yes.
he's just like, it's like a handshake.
I think we can all agree Pearl needs to chill the fuck out. And maybe she can do so with today's sponsor, Vance Global. Vance Global specializes in manufacturing only the best CBD on the market, using all natural ingredients which you can find listed next to each product on their website, along with certified lab testing sheets for ultimate peace of mind, which I especially appreciate given that in today's market, you want to make sure that what you're getting is legitimate and safe. Legitimately safe. Safely legitimate? I don't know what I'm saying. I just took one of these things, okay? Shop for a multitude of both gummies and cards ranging from Delta 8 to HHC or just good old-fashioned CBD for when you feel your blood pressure spiking too high.
Okay, J. Aubrey. Come on now. All right.
Yeah, but so this is the perceived value of the women. And, you know, maybe this would be the value of the women if we were virgins and offered men like 7 children. But the actual value is more like here. You know what? No, that's a little too high. I'm gonna make it lower. Perceived actual.
Pearl uploads multiple times a day to her channel, which means we get clips like these on an incredibly frequent basis.
Fat chicks have way more complications. They have a harder time getting pregnant. So if a traditional man wants children, you can't pick a fat chick. They're like, okay, if she's already chubby in her 20s, then I have a lifetime of, you know.
It is exhausting just how dedicated this woman is to embarrassing herself on such a public level. I mean, just look at these thumbnails and titles, man. Men are not interested in modern women. Modern women got schooled. Modern women will never understand this.
All she does is regurgitate the bullshit that she hears, especially from, okay, basically she regurgitates the same shit that she hears from whoever the leader of the manosphere is at that time. So she, the one guy they talked about earlier, she used to regurgitate his exact shit. And then Andrew Tate came around. She would regurgitate what he would say. And then Myron from Fresh and Fit became the leader of the manosphere. She would regurgitate what he would say. All she does is regurgitate whoever the leader at the time is saying. Kevin Samuels, thank you. Thank you, Sage. She regurgitates the same shit whoever the leader is at the time of the manosphere. That's all she does. That's literally all she does.
I am not shitting you when I say the words modern woman have appeared in over 600 of her titles over the past year alone. So yeah, you could say Pearl has tapped into her own little niche, which is pretending she knows everything while saying absolutely nothing.
You go from an 80%, and people dispute these numbers left and right, but you go from an 80% chance of a happy marriage with 0 partners to a 20% with 5+.
In one clip titled Pearl Drops the Mic, Pearl blames birth control for turning women into hoes before going on to say no-fault divorce laws have allowed these.
Oh my God. Okay, like there's no other reason for birth control. There's no other reason for birth control. Is she stupid? Is she dumb? It's not like 15 and 16-year-olds are technically put on birth control to regulate because they have bad periods. Because their periods are so bad, so rough on them. There are other reasons for birth control other than not getting pregnant from having sex. And anybody who doesn't know that, then you need to Google. Use Google because you're probably on some kind of a device that is on the internet. Use Google for God's sake. Come on.
evil women to ruin their families because social media has convinced them they deserve men they aren't hot enough for. Which might make some sense if you have the dating maturity of a 14-year-old boy. Otherwise, this just sounds like a lazy mess of assumptions and painfully broad generalizations of women who get divorced.
Birth control allowed hoes to be hoes. The provider, the hoes don't pick the provider, they pick the chat. Then no fault divorce allowed the hoes to leave. Then the government funded them leaving. And then social media made girls that are 6s think they're 9s and 10s. They break up their home because they think they can do better and they can't. Class dismissed.
I mean, how is this meant to be convincing? Well, it's not supposed to be convincing. It's supposed to reinforce the stereotypes men have of whatever qualifies in their minds as modern.
And again, not all men have these stereotypes. Like, my husband will listen to this red pill shit and he laughs at them. He laughs at these dudes. They're a joke. To a normal working class man, they are a joke. And they sound like a bunch of incels.
Modern women. Here is Pearl, a woman, saying the things that feed directly into the biases of someone displeased with women having access to things like birth control, Instagram, or divorce. Here is a woman reassuring them that they're right without actually citing any direct evidence or examples as to why. And the morons in the comments eat it the fuck up. This chick should win the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Pearl's dad is Chuck Norris. We need smart people like her in Congress and Senate. She's doing the work of the Lord. She should run for Congress. You gotta respect the way these freedom-loving patriots want the federal government to strip rights away from half the population.
Why women shouldn't vote. Yes, okay. I would like to tell you how I came to this conclusion. I wanted to know why men were so angry about women. When I started researching the stuff, it was pretty easy to figure out why. 90% of women have been on birth control. 1 out of 3 women has had an abortion. 1 out of 3 women has an STD. Average body count is over 5.
Okay, quick question. Now, I'm just guessing here, but where did those women get the STDs from? Did they just, just come out of the air? Did they just go, oh, I'm an STD. I'm going to pick that woman right there. I'm just going to attach myself to her. Is that how it works? Sexually transmitted disease. How did those women get those STDs? I mean, just saying. Just throwing it out there, bro. Like, what? This is how stupid she is. The sad thing is, she just talks out of her ass, and her audience is so ignorant. They listen to this shit, and they believe this shit, and they regurgitate this shit. I mean...
So that your average wife has slept with over 5 people. 95% of women are not virgins on their wedding days. I understand.
Neither are you, bitch. Neither will you be. When somebody finally scoops your ugly ass up, you're not gonna be a virgin either.
And the complaint.
See, the YouTube Shorts format fits Pearl's arguments a lot more suitably than a full-length, fleshed-out video could. The 60-second time limit lends itself to the inherent lack of nuance in her beliefs. Plus, these get way more views, too. I don't know what it is, but there's just something about these shorts that takes the algorithm by storm. There's a way more potential to go viral here than anywhere else. Without any extra efforts, you can get 22 million people to watch this.
If my son came home from school one day and said to me, look, Mum, I'll be honest with you, I think I'm gay, I would take it on. What if your son came home and said, I think I'm black?
This stupid shit right here. Okay, listen to this again.
Where else? Without any extra efforts, you can get 22 million people to watch this.
If my son came home from school one day and said to me, look, Mum, I'll be honest with you, I think I'm gay, I would take it on. What if your son came home and said, I think I'm black?
How are you going to compare a kid coming home and say, Mom, I think I'm gay, versus Mom, I think I'm black, and the kid is not black? Ma'am, that is a totally different scenario. And she thinks she's smart sounding like this. Literally.
Well,
Well, I mean, obviously, obviously, I'd have to sit him down and be like.
So you don't think if you thought he was the opposite gender, you might need to sit him down
and tell him that he's
Well,
that's what I said. I mean, I would listen to him.
Yes.
Gay's not the opposite gender. What? You're stupid. Ignorance. Willful ignorance.
If you got that one, she didn't actually destroy the woke woman as the title insists. She just changed the fucking subject entirely. Multiple times, too. How is acknowledging a difference between race, sexuality, and gender owning anybody in this circumstance? Hey, Mom, I think I might be gay. Are you black? Well, that's not the same thing. Oh, okay, so now you want to change your gender. Are you even listening to me? Wow, children sure are dumb. I also love the way she sits there in silence as if she just made some epic clapback that left the room speechless. Like, no, they're speechless because what you just said was so mind-numbingly stupid, they're in literal awe. It's honestly pretty inspiring to think someone could be so confidently wrong on so many things. I think we can see pretty plainly that when Pearl isn't pulling random shit out of her ass, she's deliberately neglecting context to prove a point. Like, for example, here. As you can see, even Piers Morgan still has the awareness to call Pearl out for ignoring the fact that many women, back when it was illegal for them to vote, were still willing to take less opportunity because that's what they have been conditioned to accept. And instead of rebutting this with anything specific or concrete, her counter just does more to reinforce his point.
I found out that only 5% of women wanted the right to vote. And I couldn't figure out, like, why would women not? No, it's true.
At the time.
At the time.
Because they've been conditioned by men to think that they shouldn't have a vote.
When Piers Morgan makes more goddamn sense than his guest, you know something is wrong. When he is the voice of reason, there is something wrong with the equation of the guest he has. Bro, if that isn't an eye-opener on how dumb she is, when Piers Morgan is the one making sense, we have an issue. Ladies and gentlemen, okay? Some reason Piers Morgan is a Xylie bro right now. Okay? So Xylie bros, it's not over yet. Okay? Just saying.
I mean, that's what they say, but, I started reading their writings, right? And what I found out was that the reason a lot of women advocated for it was because they believed it was the beginning of the breakdown of the family.
Yeah, obviously, that's what their writing is gonna say. How does that mean they weren't being brainwashed?
It also goes back to responsibility. Men are 80 to 90% of the military. They run all of the infrastructures that make society run. So I just think if we want an equal say in society.
Yes, and society is running so great, isn't it? Society is just top notch. Yes, our society is running great. Yeah.
Then be equal. Go apply to be on the oil rigs. Go be a plumber. Go be an electrician. Go be on the front.
I was a mechanic, bitch. What? I did a quote-unquote man's job. Matter of fact, that's where I met my husband. He saw me doing a quote-unquote man's job. Just because you can't change a tire. Hint for 5. If Piers Morgan is making more sense than you need to backtrack through your entire life choices. Period. Point blank period. Hint.
Lines of the military, and then we should have equal rights. But until feminists are willing to do that, I don't believe we should have the freedom without the responsibility.
Okay, well, I don't think that I'm physically built for that. You might be.
Pearl's position here seems to be that because men supposedly do all the heavy lifting in society.
Thank you, Davida. I was in the military and did a man's job. Exactly. The sad thing is, and my whole point is, it's not a man's job anymore. Stop with this is a woman's job and this is a man's job. Like the whole men shouldn't be nurses. No, why can't a man be a nurse? That's not a woman's job. A man can be a secretary. Guess what? A man can be a stay-at-home dad. Just like a woman can be a stay-at-home mother. Stop putting these labels, these sex labels on jobs. We need to start thinking more of a people problem instead of man or a woman problem. If they would stop thinking in the term of sexes, we wouldn't have this issue. Think of it as a people problem and not a man problem or woman problem, except for like particular things like, I don't know, testicular cancer would be a man's issue. Just like ovarian cancer be a woman's, something like that, I understand. Okay, whatever. But I'm talking about these jobs, it's not man or woman. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there's nothing wrong with stay-at-home dads. There's nothing wrong with stay-at-home husbands. I don't care about that. I'm a stay-at-home wife. It's killing me. I'm going to be honest. It's killing me. I still, even 2 years in, and I'm 2.5 years in, and I'm still like, whew. But, you know, still.
Then we deserve certain privileges like the right to vote. Since women are, according to her, not contributing the same as men, they shouldn't get those same rights. But a policy like this wouldn't make much sense because not all men are doing such hard, intense labor. I'm not making this video from atop an oil rig, so would I still get to vote in Pearl land? I guess this is something Pearl realized though, because by the very next day, she was clarifying that not all men should be allowed to vote either. So there you go.
We have to define what is the infrastructure. Farming.
Yeah, exactly, Ada. It's the same with hobbies. Men can't be ballet dancer or sew or knit. Exactly. Men can do just the same as women, and women can do just the same as men. Absolutely.
Manufacturing, transportation, building the buildings, paving the roads. Now remember, women do teaching, we do nursing, but if those jobs went away, the infrastructure of society would still run. We would still have food.
Okay. Do you okay, you dumb bitch. I'm sorry. Do you honestly believe if nursing jobs went away, the infrastructure wouldn't be affected? Do you know what nurses do? Do you know or understand what nurses do? Like, what?
We would still have water. We would still have a military. Why should we have an equal say?
Maybe because you're still living in society? Why should not participating in the specific fields you mentioned disqualify someone from choosing how our communities are governed? If everyone is affected by the actions of the government, then everyone should ideally have a say. I mean, this shouldn't even be a debate. Plus, Pearl overlooks the other countless jobs that are crucial for society to run. I mean, just the fact that she's so quick to dismiss teachers and nurses really underlines what little of a grasp she has on the world around her. If nurses disappeared, our healthcare infrastructure would immediately crumble, and if teachers disappeared, we'd all turn out like Pearl.
She became friends with Winston and Clementine Churchill.
Why does Churchill sound familiar? Winston Churchill did something. Or wrote.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God, Pearl. What the hell? What? Winston Churchill did something. Oh my God. Top Tomatoes like, ain't no way.
Wrote something.
British Prime Minister.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't know that. Let me know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Pearl's just a misogynist. I just hate women, and I'm just a dummy YouTuber who doesn't know anything.
Yeah, well, you said that, not me. But I will say, when literal children are agreeing with your takes, it might be time to reconsider some things.
Girls don't work as hard as the boys.
If I would have said that in front of my mother would have snatched me up so quick. My mother would have snatched me up so quick if I'd have said something like that in front of her.
She's red pilled.
Pearl will spout something off like, there are more sex workers in America than teachers, which has certainly been contested. As the most recent stats on prostitution from 2016 estimate there to only be a total of 1 to 2 million sex workers living in the US compared to 4 million teachers as of 2023. But let's just be super generous and say Pearl was also counting the 2 million or so OnlyFans creators in her tweet as well. That will put the number closer to 4 million, I guess. But it's clear she's not really going off of any hard numbers. And even if there were more sex workers than teachers, so what? What is Pearl even trying to prove here? That women are less interested in teaching the next generation and more interested in being sluts? I mean, what is the—
Okay, let's talk about that for a second. Why has teaching gone downhill? Have you seen the restrictions they put on teachers now? The restrictions that they have on teachers now is horrendous, all because of that one test they take at the end of the year. Let's talk about how much teachers get paid. And granted, I understand, they only work 9 months out of the year. Do you understand that they have to pay for everything in their damn classroom? For what little pay they get paid? They can't even buy a house on their salary. They can barely buy groceries, let alone all the pens and pencils and every little thing for their classroom that they have to buy. Do we not notice how teachers are treated in this society? It's absolutely abominable. That's why teachers are snapping. The old school teachers, they're gone. They can't have any creativity on how they're teaching things. They basically have to teach for a test at the end of the year, and how they are paid is based on that test by the end of the year. Because if they have too many students fail it, they're gone. In some states, they're being told what they can and can't teach. Some states, they can't even teach the truth of whatever history at that period of time. I wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to be a history teacher. I wanted to do world history. Then I saw how much teachers got paid, and I was like, no. I'm not doing all that to get paid that much. As a society, we need to throw more respect to teachers. Because they're the ones who are shaping our kids. Literally. They're the ones watching your children while they're not with you. They're the ones who are making sure your children are safe when they're not with you. They're the ones teaching your children when they are not with you. We need to put more respect on teachers' names and on their job. Because it's ridiculous. And that's why we are falling behind in every category when it comes to subjects in school compared to the world. Because we don't respect teachers.
The insinuation. If anything, it would just prove how thankless of a job teaching has become. It's not surprising that people would turn to a job that actually pays them. If you want there to be less women on OnlyFans, Pearl, then you should be advocating for things like higher wages and better working conditions, but she doesn't even want women to be teachers in the first place.
2 women cannot teach the way 1 man used to teach. They now have a teacher and a teacher's aide on average in classrooms. And it used to be 1 man, and the men used to have better outcomes.
Unfortunately, there isn't a whole lot of data on this subject in general, and I have no idea which study Pearl could possibly be pulling from here. I wonder why that is. But the Center for Global Development lists the results of a few experiments from several countries, noting that in Ecuador, children were randomly assigned to teachers for 4 years, and researchers examined the impact of teacher gender on math scores. They found that teacher gender does not affect the math achievement of boys or girls, with similar results coming from other countries like China as well as Korea, where female students perform substantially better on standardized tests when assigned
Standardized tests. Thank you. That's what I was talking about.
to female teachers. As far as Western countries go, the CDG notes that studies tend to find little or no effect, other than at least one from the US that found a positive one. And that's just me going off whatever studies I could find. I am absolutely lost in figuring out where Pearl is getting her information. But who am I to question the omniscient foresight of the all-powerful Pearl Davis? In fact, she's actually somewhat of a psychic. That's right. This woman could see directly into the future.
Zendaya is gonna leave his ass. Her hypergamy is gonna get the best of her. I'm sorry, Zendaya is like a sweetheart, and I think a lot of like high value men are gonna be interested in her. It's not that Tom Holland isn't a high value man, he is, but I just think more high value men are gonna be interested, and I think she's gonna go for it. I give it 6 months.
Okay, what we're not going to do is we're not going to mess up Zendaya and Tom Holland's sacred relationship, okay? They are the cutest couple of 2023. Do not speak ill of that couple, okay? They are ridiculously cute together. Girl, don't be talking bad about my boy Tom Holland. I'm gonna tell you what. That's my it couple right there. They are so cute together. I love those two together.
To know the exact inner workings of a celebrity's private dating life is certainly an impressive talent to have, and what an amazing fountain of knowledge Pearl is. Except she's so far removed from reality, it makes me a little worried. Just take her incredibly weird and intrusive video here, where she speculates on Tom Brady's divorce from his wife Giselle, once again blaming their separation on the fact that Tom was making less money playing football than Giselle did as a supermodel.
Giselle and Tom divorced last year. Now, there are a couple warning signs that a woman is going to leave your ass. Number 1 is if she out-earns you. Most women have a modern mindset where they think they are better than a man because they out-earn him.
Man, you don't know the reason for their divorce, so what are you even saying? This is something Pearl has suggested in the past, that women who out-earn their husbands tend to leave them.
That's one of the #1 predictors of divorce. If a woman out-earns her husband, she is more likely to leave.
But there's a reason Pearl doesn't cite any sources when she says that women who out-earn their husbands tend to leave them.
That's what
she pulls statistics literally out of her ass. Literally out of her ass. And it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. She just says things. That's the only thing I can tell you. She just says things. I don't know how else. Exactly, Callie. Again, she's single, talking about other people's relationships. Exactly, Callie. It's just like, bro, what?
One of the #1 predictors of divorce. If a woman out-earns her husband, she is more likely to leave.
But there's a reason.
Okay, so say YouTube popped off and I started making more money than my husband. Do you think I'm going to leave my husband? No. Why would I? If anything, it makes it easier for him. We're a team, baby. I mean, honestly, our relationship has to work because I told him getting rid of me is not an option. If I have to be the crazy person behind a bush with a machete, I will. He can't get rid of me. It's just not possible. But still, if I made more money, you think I'm leaving? No. No, not at all.
Pearl doesn't cite any sources when she says things like this. According to sociologists from the University of Wisconsin-Madison and the University of Pennsylvania, the divorce rate for couples married in the 90s with female breadwinners has fallen to just 4% higher than those with male breadwinners, which is a massive improvement compared to couples married in the 60s and 70s who were 70% more likely to divorce when wives earned more or the same.
Oh my God, the statistic got better? What? But I guarantee you she's going off by the one in the 60s.
As their husbands. Marriages with female breadwinners are actually succeeding way more today than ever before in the past. But that's not the kind of context Pearl would give you because it doesn't fit her overly simplistic view of the world. By ignoring the circumstances around a set of data, Pearl will often use real numbers to arrive at a faulty conclusion that fits her narrative. Not to mention there's basically zero indication that money played a role at all in Giselle leaving Tom Brady. Back in reality, Giselle has stated, sometimes you grow together, sometimes you grow apart. When I was 26 years old and he was 29 years old, we met, we wanted a family, we wanted things together. As time goes by, we realized that we just wanted different things, and now we have a choice to make. And that's basically all we know. They've otherwise kept things pretty private for a reason, and I don't think we should know anything more than what they're willing to share, nor is it appropriate to speculate. And it certainly isn't appropriate to manipulate their story to fit your own agenda in front of 500,000 people.
Now, why is it rumored that they divorced? Oh, he was working on his career too much. But the funny thing is, if the men were not working on their careers, we would not want them anyway. And what you can see is this is a control tactic of modern women.
The way Pearl is speaking here, you'd think Giselle hates Tom with a burning passion, which is completely untrue. As she stated herself, she still loves and wants the best for her ex-husband, hands down, going on to say that rumors circulating about them are actually very hurtful and the most ridiculous thing she's ever heard.
Because Pearl, once again, thinks she knows everything there is to know about everybody else's relationship. That's Pearl.
Also refuses to believe that Tom could have possibly done anything to warrant Giselle initiating a divorce, despite there not being enough reliable information to indicate that. She's just pinning total blame for a situation she doesn't understand onto a woman because that's what's most convenient. And then she has the nerve to craft an entire narrative in an effort to generalize more women. Do you see a problem? Like, this is what she does.
He can do everything right, and his wife will still divorce his ass. Women are never happy. You can give a woman everything she wants, and she will never be happy.
I mean, Pearl is literally just writing her own fan fiction about a celebrity couple.
She's literally speaking to incels. That is her audience. Her audience are incels. Because no person who has a healthy dating life would listen to her. Or Fresh and Fit. Or Andrew Tate. Or everybody else in the manosphere. Anybody with a healthy dating life would not be listening to them. The people who are listening to them are fools who will spend their money on them that don't get laid and they desperately want to. That is who's listening to these people.
couple she will never meet. The title is just blatant clickbait. Not once during these 7 minutes of absolute torture does she give even a single example of Giselle getting furious at anything. You're just using famous names to Trojan horse your putrid beliefs because nobody cares what you have to say otherwise. And as a Cowboys fan, I hate the Pearl is making me defend Tom Brady. But reinforcing parasocial relationships with football players honestly pales in comparison to clickbaiting a person's actual death like she does in this video.
What up, guys? Welcome to the Just Pearly Things YouTube channel and welcome to Pearl Daily. We have a OnlyFans model who died trying to be a whore.
Yeah, that is actually how the video starts. Never mind the fact that she wrongly labeled this lady as an OnlyFans model, as there is nothing in the news to confirm that. She was an Instagram model who tragically lost her life in 2017 while under the influence. She leaned herself out of a moving car that her friend was driving and hit a lamppost. It's an absolutely horrific situation. And of course, that's not something she should have been doing, but she also didn't deserve to lose her life, as Pearl's thumbnail implies. I mean, her family lost a loved one, and Pearl can't have any respect for them. Pearl mentions this situation in the title and thumbnail in a 54-minute episode of her podcast. Yet only 2 minutes are spent at the very end actually discussing what happened. And when we finally do get to that part, Pearl's commentary is just this.
You know, we're so addicted to attention these days. Women are addicted to attention. She became so attention addicted that it literally led to her death. And we see case after case after case. We see this as a trend, a growing trend. More women getting so addicted to social media that they ruin their marriages.
Yet Pearl, do you see how much you're on Twitter in a day? Ma'am. How many videos you put out, how much you're on Twitter. I know you're not talking about women being addicted to social media when that's all you do. Have y'all seen how much this woman tweets out? It's crazy. How much she tweets out more than Nicholas Diorio in a day. Literally. It's crazy.
You know, they don't watch their children and they literally die for attention. And I think we got to identify trends. So let me know what trends you see happening in society and let me know what you want me to cover tomorrow on Pearl Daily. Make sure you like the video on your way out.
I mean, to look at I wonder how I can use this to my ideological advantage. It's sickening, to the point that even some of Pearl's own fans have called it out. But Pearl isn't in the business of being tasteful or compassionate. For example, if this is your genuine reaction to peaceful protesters being forcibly manhandled into the back of an unmarked vehicle at the hand of an oppressive government, I'm not going to take you seriously on anything.
F around and find out. In the US, we have a whole month dedicated to gay people. We have flags everywhere. They're pushing gayness in the schools. There was a gay pride parade in Russia. Putin said, no, thank you. Keep that ideology out of here. And this is what happens.
I can't wait for the day that you fuck around and find out. Because guess what happened? Fresh and Fit, they fucked around and found out. I can't wait for your day to come. I cannot wait. And I'm not going to revel in it because, you know, I am anti-deplatforming, which Fresh and Fit weren't deplatformed. They were only demonetized, okay? But I'm certainly not going to lend a voice in happening. The only thing I'm going to say is fuck around and find out. Sorry. I can't wait till it's your time.
Shove the LGBTQ plus down your throat.
Shoving their agendas down our throats. You're by holding a fucking sign? Are you really that threatened, Pearl, by a person standing? These people didn't choose to be oppressed. They're trying to be recognized.
TJ for 10. Hi, it's Xylie, not Kylie. Have you ever thought about reacting to Tree of Logic videos clowning Pearl? It's so glorious to watch how Pearl squirms when Tree exposes the Steven Crowder incident, shows how afraid she is. No, I know a Tree of Logic. I know of Tree of Logic. I have her on Twitter, but no, I normally don't do her content, because a lot of her ideologies I don't really 100% go by, but I can check it out. That's the only thing I can tell you, TJ. I can check it out.
Is for who they are. They're embracing their true selves in the face of a very real legal and physical danger, which is leagues more courageous than anything Pearl could even dream of doing for
Thank you for the 10, by the way.
herself.
China has also shut down the Beijing LGBT Center, the last large LGBT organization in the country. I really think the U.S. should take note.
She's unironically advocating for the imprisonment of people on the basis of something they cannot change, which is some Nazi shit, Pearl. That's just some Nazi shit. I hate to break it to you.
It is. It absolutely is. Again, that's red pill. That's red pill. That is red pill. Red pill is some nasty shit. It's not just hate against women.
Where is my straight pride? I want straight pride month.
I hate people. I absolutely hate people. I really do.
What about hopelessly unmarried and unhappy month for you specifically?
We're getting to the point where we're putting sexuality on a pedestal.
Putting sexuality on a pedestal? Oh, you mean like what you do for a fucking living?
We have women that really are, I would say, genetic like masterpieces, great bodies, but they still are not exempt to being modern women. This woman is 51 and twice divorced. Literally, this woman is at the end of her life.
Pearl? End of her life? She's 50 years old and she's gonna die of old age at 56!
But what does life look like at 70 for her when her looks are actually gone? Because I don't know. Maybe.
Bitch, she looks better than you at 27. Are you kidding me? That 50-year-old woman runs laps around your ass at 51 compared to your 27. What?
She'll look at it 70. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know. That's the whole point. Pearl's ideology insists that unless you marry young and begin popping out as many babies as you can physically muster, you aren't living up to your full potential as a woman. I mean, for fuck's sake, she suggested prosecuting anyone who does OnlyFans.
I was thinking if they made OnlyFans illegal, the influencers couldn't do it so openly. I reserve the right to prosecute you.
By painting with such broad strokes, she's obviously ignoring the population of women who do manage to be happy in spite of not starting a family of their own. Maybe not everyone wants to wear trad dresses and cook for their husband instead of following a career path of their own. Although you definitely can do that. No one should ever stop you from living however you want to live. It's childish to assume everyone wants
Ninja style, that's what happened when sycophants take over. Honestly, that's what happens when sycophants take over. The same thing happened to the feminist movement. Remember, well, y'all probably don't remember because most of my audience is too young to remember. Hell, I don't even remember. But feminism started out about men and women being equal. Not we hate men. Not some of the nasty shit they're saying now about men. But feminism at its purest form is men and women should be equal. Then sycophants took over. And what happens? Then the crazy is let loose. Same thing happened to Red Pill. Red Pill was more about, we need to talk more about men's mental health. We need to talk more about this for men, that for men. Stuff that really need to be talked about for men. Because far too long in this society, men's mental health has always been pushed over to the side and say, you know what, you're a dude, you're not allowed to cry. You're a dude, you're not allowed to have emotions. But then it turned into this crazy shit because sycophants took over. Yes, exactly, TJ. Any movement starts out good, it never lasts because 99% of the time it becomes co-opted. Yes. And that's exactly what happened with Red Pill. That's exactly what happened. All right, hold on 1 second. I'm going to go make myself a drink. I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. I just realized I forgot to take my medicine today. I gotta take my medicine when this live stream's over.
Wants exactly what you want. Yet Pearl, either willfully or otherwise, simply refuses to accept that there are women out there who are content with straying away from the rigid, conventional guidelines she considers to be natural and necessary for society to function. I mean, isn't that what Pearl's doing? She's self-sufficient enough without a man, I thought.
I literally think.
No, she's not. Daddy still gives her a stipend.
That if I didn't have my dad helping me with, like, you know, the YouTube channel, I'm a woman. I would just, like, you know, flop and just, like, chill out.
Oh, well, never mind. But it's not like every woman on Earth needs a man to help them build a basic fucking bed frame from IKEA. I'm sorry, but I'm floored by this tweet. This is the single easiest piece of furniture to build, and you're saying you need someone else to come in and save the day? Oh my god, pick yourself up, Pearl. Why would you admit to that? But she can barely go on one podcast without telling on herself, without revealing just how limited her perspective on the world really is. Despite making it her entire brand, Pearl doesn't really know what guys look for in a partner. She thinks she does, but that's because she's either hanging around the wrong people or just projecting again.
Seriously, what do women bring in 2022 that is special? Nothing. Do most women have a cookbook? Do most women really know how to cater to a man? No. Are most women virgins on their wedding day?
Oh, I absolutely do know how to cater to a man. Thank you very much. I absolutely do. My husband is well fed and taken care of. I promise you that.
So what do most women bring in 2022 that is special?
But I mean, is that truly all she believes women can offer? Virginity and a cookbook? What about companionship or guidance or communication or I don't fucking know, love? Why do the things that make women so valuable in the eyes of Pearl always boil down to simplistic things like cooking and sex? Like, I promise you, that's just not what all people care exclusively about when looking for a partner. It's also interesting she keeps coming back to the concept of being a virgin considering she isn't one.
This is probably too far, but imagine, okay? You could go to the gynecologist to prove your virginity on your wedding day, right?
Bro. And people are eating this up. People are eating this up. Go look at her Twitter sometimes when she writes some of the shit she writes and go under the tweet and see how many people agree with her. It's sick. Go watch a live stream of hers and see the chat. It's gross.
Right? And there was some sort of like prize, like $10,000, $5,000, whatever like a lifetime of child support would cost. You just put that for virginity on the wedding.
Doesn't the sanctity of marriage also rely on the woman being a virgin? So you wouldn't be able to get married.
What do you mean?
Well, you've spoken quite openly about how you're not a virgin, and so if you want to preserve that sanctity of marriage, then I just think that you're upholding standards that you don't actually live by.
Yeah, this is such a recurring theme for Pearl. Take her video, Should You Wait Until Marriage Masterclass, where she pulls out a whiteboard and scribbles down a bunch of incomprehensible notes on virginity and aging and whatever else Pearl likes to dwell on throughout the day.
In most cases, virginity is the most valuable thing you can give to a guy. It is so powerful. Like that is the most beautiful gift you can give to someone. However, there are times when your virginity doesn't count.
Jesus, Pearl, you sure that's your dominant hand?
Men aren't lining up to date fat chicks. A dude will take an OnlyFans model with 100 bodies before he takes a fat chick. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules.
She loves to say that.
Pearl. Baby girl. Baby girl. I know you do not stand in front of a mirror every single day and say the shit that you say about other women's looks. There is no way in hell that you are confidently saying this right now. Oh my God.
Model with 100 bodies before he takes a fat chick. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules.
She loves to say that she doesn't make the rules, but I'm pretty sure that's exactly what she's doing here. You can literally watch her brain struggle to invent bullet points on the spot here, and none of it's planned. None of it's based in any underlying data, at least none that she cites here. It's all just whatever Pearl can think of off the top of her head.
Point number 3, your virginity doesn't count. If you're ugly. Oh yeah, I forgot.
Words are spilling out, but somehow nothing is being said.
Your virginity doesn't count if you're ugly, because if your girl's face looks like it was smashed in with a baseball bat, but she's a virgin, or would you rather you get a girl that's pretty hot, but you know, like 10, 20 bodies?
10 bodies.
And that doesn't say your virginity.
Wait, Pearl, is this your way out? Is that your out? Is number 2 your out? That's your out. Holy shit, she created an out for her own. Wow. Wow. Oh my God. Not only does she have these fucked up principles that she teach, but she created her own way out. Oh my God. Holy shit. Oh.
It's valuable, but it's not valuable if you're a whale, you're ugly.
At a certain point, it's just depressing to listen to. It's discouraging and untrue to think that if you're an older woman or you don't see yourself as conventionally attractive, then you're lost in the dating market. Why is that the message you want to put into the world?
Men value youth. Youth goes with purity. But if you're over a certain age, nobody's lining up for a 41-year-old virgin. If you're over the age of, should we give him 28? Men are starting to question, what's wrong with you? Why are you a virgin at 30? If a dude is looking at you and saying, this is a new BMW, or I could get a slight...
Abby Blackbird for 2, she looks like a talking rectangle. True.
We used BMW for a lot lower price with, some mileage, but low mileage. Who are you picking? Low, right.
Because it's like the outside is pretty, but the inside is just yucky.
I'd be sad if someone like my sister was watching this and taking Pearl's words to heart here. And yeah, I mean, of course, by the end of it, she's comparing women to cars. Where have I heard that before?
Every single one of my cars, there is a scenario in which I prefer that car over the others. The same applies to women. Like, one bitch can cook. When you're hungry, you call that bitch. You want a blowjob, you call that bitch. You want a you call that bitch. The house needs cleaning, you call that bitch. But I don't want anyone to think I'm sexist or misogynist.
It obviously didn't...
Oh, God. Ugh, I need his trial to hurry up and get over with.
Take long for Pearl to grab the attention of the man who paved the way for her lucrative new business, cozying up with those who pioneered an industry of misogyny so airheads like Pearl could come along and steal the show by ripping all of their talking points, which in turn just boosted her reputation even more. Out of all of Pearl's podcast appearances, though, the most controversial came when she brilliantly decided to bring self-described white...
TJ for 5. Something tells me that Pearly truly doesn't believe in what she's preaching. She's so much like a grifter, Candace Owens. I've been saying she's a grifter. I have been saying she's a grifter this whole time. I have always said that she's a grifter. There's no mistaking that JustPearlyThings is a grifter. Amber Chick for $4.99. She is unfortunate looking and shaped like a wide ass box of cereal. Not today, Satan. Not today. Amber. Amber, I love you, Amber. Don't you ever change, baby girl. Don't you ever change.
Nationalist and, I guess now, advocate for child grooming, Nick Fuentes onto her show, The Pregame, which I haven't talked a lot about yet because it is so painstakingly boring.
And that's, okay, so her interview with Nick Fuentes is what got her in trouble with the manosphere. The black manosphere. And it was glorious.
Okay. What was I gonna... When do you notice a woman's looks start to fade?
The pregame usually just consists of Pearl dragging whatever random women she can find onto a panel and strong-arming them into agreeing with her takes. You can watch her physically preparing to jump down the throat of anyone who dares speak out against her. It's just such an unwelcoming format.
I wouldn't recommend for someone to stay in an abusive relationship. So if someone's being
Why is abusive the first thing that comes to your head?
Because I'm not saying that's the first thing.
It's the first thing you said.
Yeah, but I've known women that have left from relationships because of physical abuse.
Is that the majority?
I can't really speak for the majority.
Mm-hmm. You think the majority of men are abusing women? You think that's probable?
Man, she didn't even say that! Pearl hears what she wants to hear and doesn't settle for anything less than the absolute most generalized terms by diminishing nuance and forcing her guests to pick a side in the debate that demands far more depth than Pearl will allow.
It all depends on the person that you are.
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot of people that
I'm gonna make one caveat. No, it depends. I'm banning it depends. I'm banning, like, we have to pick a side.
And if you dare step out of line...
I think what the lady is simply doing is trying to bring up the facts, and I agree that we should actually be holding men and women equally accountable, because we should be saying that there are men who should take responsibility.
I think if men...
No, Pearl, let me finish.
No,
let me finish. I was speaking.
No,
we should
again,
be
it's not
holding
your...
men...
Okay, get out. Go. Bye.
Why?
I told you no.
But that's just what usually happens. The episode with Nick Fuentes is a little different, given that she doesn't actually argue with him at all. In fact, she just offers his cretinous talking points about race mixing and slavery.
Oh my God, Jay Aubrey, thank you for putting this in here. Oh my God, thank you.
credibility by agreeing with him at times.
This sounds similar to the slavery stuff too, because that's literally the founder of, or the guy who made Roots said, I wanted a myth for my people to live by. So they often, but that's what they do is they embellish, and I'm not trying to say it wasn't horrible, it was.
Right.
But they want to make it like more horrible so that they can control people.
So that...
Yes, she said that about slavery, people. Let's go back and hear what she said about slavery again.
The founder of, or the guy who made Roots said, I wanted a myth for my people to live by. So they often, but that's what they do is they embellish, and I'm not trying to say it wasn't horrible, it was.
Right.
But they want to make it like more horrible so that they can control people.
So that was Pearl perpetuating the idea that slavery was embellished. But hold on, yeah, we'll get back to that. Throughout this 3-hour...
Yes, she did. She gave no pushback to Nick Fuentes at all. And she got pounded for it over there. Yes, Natanya. Yes. Oh, and they got her ass for it too. They got her. Just keep watching. Watch.
Podcast. Pearl gives Nick the floor to share why he believes the Holocaust was also embellished, casually laughing along while he rattles off the various Jewish entities that he says want to control us or whatever. I'm not even sure how much I can play here, but at one point Nick refers to himself as a Holocaust revisionist while disputing the actual number of people killed in the genocide. So I think that's all you need to know. It was only after she received criticism, though, that Pearl strangely removed this interview from the face of her channel.
Criticism? Oh, it wasn't criticism. Everybody was like, stop. Nope. Wait a minute, bitch. Hold up. Are you kidding me right now? Oh no, they got her ass. They chewed her up and spit her out.
Along with issuing an apology.
I want to first say I take full accountability for everything that happened. Everything that happens in life, as I say to the girls on my show, is my own fault. The fact that people are making these videos is my own fault. And the situation that I'm in is my own fault.
Come on.
She looks so irritated during this. She might as well pull it out a ukulele.
Pearl, don't backpedal on me like this. You happily put this episode out into the world. Don't deprive us of it now because you got scared of the woke mob. Don't tell me you're scared, Pearl.
Exactly, Ninja Style. It's because she can't disagree with men and would contradict her points that she's stupidly spewing. Yes, 100%.
Between the time that we booked you to come on the show and you actually coming on the show.
This was a great interview, too. This interview was really, really good.
You had a guy called Nick Fuentes.
Oh, yeah, Nick.
Yeah, you had him on, and then you took that interview down and apologized. So what happened with that whole thing?
Oh, I can't talk too much. There's like legal things going on.
There's legal things going on?
Yeah, there's not with Nick, but just, but there's I have a video coming out about that whole thing. So you guys have to wait for the video.
That video dropped a month later, where she seemed to issue a full retraction of her original apology, and instead opted to go even harder against her critics. But what led to such a sudden and massive change of heart, I wonder? She was willing to take accountability before realizing how beneficial it was to appease the audience of Nazi sympathizers she's garnered, reinforcing this new position a month later by calling Nick a nice guy, actually, and a great guest.
Nick, he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy. I think he's got some crazy opinions, but yeah, he was very nice on the show. And a lot of the stuff he was talking about, I didn't really know. Like, have I studied the freaking Holocaust? No, I don't know.
Okay, but if you admit you aren't capable of pushing back against literal Holocaust denialism, then maybe don't have him on the show. I don't know. It's just something I thought of just now.
But I will say, I did not find.
Okay. You can't tell me. You cannot tell me. I don't care if it was a private school or a public school. But you cannot tell me, growing up in the United States of America, you did not learn that in history class. And those statistics were not literally banged into your head. You cannot tell me that. That is a part of history class that everyone is taught. No matter if you're in a private school or a public school. World War II is a huge chunk of history class. Like, wow. She literally comes up with fucking excuses.
Nick to be racist. My staff actually did not find him to be racist.
Okay, roll the clip.
I said to her that it wasn't a good idea having Nick Fuentes on there, and I said that he...
Okay, just to let you know, and I'm going to rewind it back so we can hear what he's saying. This is one of the guys that worked for her network at the time. This guy right here. Miss Susie, please retract that.
Okay, roll the clip.
I said to her that it wasn't a good idea having Nick Fuentes on there, and I said that he is a racist, bro.
I don't wish to lecture racists.
Oh, I'm not racist.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are, Nick.
Yeah, I am a little bit racist.
So I did know that he was a known racist.
Anyway, what were you saying, bro?
And in fact, in your apology, you said that he said racist things.
Well, there's a video coming out about all of that. His argument is more about culture. It's easier if you date someone in your culture.
Bro, Pearl, what the fuck? Really? Really, Pearl? I know Jay Arbor's going to show it, so.
She was like being a bit like combative to him, and to me, he was just like kidding.
Oh, he's just kidding. I forgot. Yeah, he's kidding. I mean, this is a guy who built his career railing against race mixing.
So it's like you have this line that goes all the way up to you, and then after, like, then your kids, grandkids, great-grandkids, and then they're going to be like aliens.
But hasn't that always happened in history? Like they would kill... That's what they would do. They would kill the men and take the women and the children, and then they'd have kids with those women. So it's like,
yeah.
I'm not saying that.
Good comparison.
And your line of defense is that he was just kidding when he said this to your co-host.
Hey, the Italians don't claim you. You're the one dating a black guy. The Italians don't claim me. They don't claim you.
Incredible.
He was really polite. He showed up on time.
And that's her friend. And she sat there and let this motherfucker talk to her friend like that. But he's not racist, though. He's not racist. Of course he's not racist for saying that. What? The fuck out of here.
My opinion is that he was polite overall. He was a good guest.
As long as he was nice and showed up on time, I guess it's okay that he thinks slavery was embellished. Not a big deal, right?
He did a panel and he spoke about his opinions on race mixing, and a lot of people agreed with him.
Okay, but that doesn't change whether it's racist or not.
When he spoke about it on the show, it was more about culture than race.
This is another moment where I cannot tell if Pearl is being dumb or disingenuous. If we look through Nick's career as a public figure, we see pretty plainly why he has an issue with dating outside of one's own race, and no, it doesn't have to do exclusively with culture.
He was also denying the Holocaust, from what I remember.
Look, I'm not with that.
Wow, what a wacky, silly guy. What a goofy little goober he is for denying the Holocaust on your show, Pearl. I feel like I'm slowly losing consciousness watching this interview. These guys are talking to her like she's in 3rd grade, and yet she still can't understand the gravity of endorsing a neo-Nazi to her fans. Plus,
she talks like she's in the 3rd grade.
Her comment sections on the clips that she hasn't taken down look like this, so you can't deny that Pearl is sending some people his way.
Well, what I'm a bit confused about is you did a whole apology, but it sounds like you're not...
Stop asking me about this.
And this is all just another great example of Pearl having to reap what she sows. Sure, she has a lot of fun saying all these ridiculous things, but when it comes to actually being confronted by them in any meaningful way, well, that's where the cracks begin to form. We saw it a bit during the course of this interview, but not to the extent as when she made the mistake of walking into the lion's den with Ethan Klein a couple months later.
Okay, can you hear me?
This literally was a W for Ethan Klein. And y'all know how I feel about Ethan Klein. But you know what? I gotta give W's out when they deserve it. And this was a W for Ethan Klein. It really was.
Hear me okay now?
Yes, I can hear you.
All good.
Okay, good. Yeah, we fixed it.
Hi,
how are you?
Your feed looks good. You sound good. Thank you. I'm good. How are you?
Ethan's approach is pretty effective in the sense that he stays calm and asks common sense questions that lead Pearl to expose the ridiculousness of her own arguments without him having to actually do much. Pearl's half-baked opinions kind of speak for themselves, like her stance on divorce, which is so completely devoid of research and compassion that she's forced into conceding that, yeah, I guess one-sided physical abuse could warrant a divorce, but that's it. Divorce should otherwise be strictly illegal across the board in a just society, but obviously even that position is complicated and stupid.
If it's one-sided physically abusive, okay, fine, divorce. We can allow divorce for those exceptions, but I've even talked to people that work at like abuse centers, and they say that the majority of abuse is mutual. So it's not just one side's hitting the other; it's like mutual. So
but it's not healthier either.
I just think that the goal should be to keep families together, and that the goal should be to work through it.
Okay, but what if they can't? Do married couples really deserve to be locked into a situation that is actively hurting both of them?
Absolutely not, because that would induce abuse. If one party does not want to be with the other person, that would induce abuse, which could lead to physical abuse. Because remember, there's emotional and psychological. Absolutely not. If you don't want to be there anymore, then you need to leave.
Do you really wish for your parents to stay together when they're physically and verbally demeaning each other in front of you every day? What good could ever possibly come from being forced to grow up around such a dangerous, vitriolic environment? Having to watch your parents constantly at each other's throat, all because the government says that's the way it should be. If Pearl had her way, divorce would also be handled in criminal court as opposed to family court. But she again completely neglects the mental and logistical toll it takes for a mother or father to go through the arduous process of criminally charging the other parent of their kids. I'd wager that a lot of parents probably don't want to go through that extra headache when they're already juggling so much. But Pearl knows that, because as she tells Ethan, she'd rather strip every existing incentive there is to separate from your spouse, which really means she doesn't want single mothers getting support from the government after leaving a situation that wasn't good for them.
Well, I think you first have to get rid of incentives that incentivize like women to leave families. So
did you hear, women, did you hear? There's actually monetary incentives for us to divorce the men. There's monetary incentives. We are incentivized by the government. Pearl, do you know the average... Lord Jesus Christ. The average child support does not pay for everything for that child. Even if every single dime, and let me tell you something, child support can go towards a light bill because the child needs electricity. Do you know that child support doesn't pay for everything? Okay? We're not talking about, oh, thank you for becoming a member. Oh, wait. No, they're doing the re-ups. All right, hold on. I don't know why it's doing the re-ups right now. All right, there we go. It doesn't pay for everything. It's not like Hollywood divorces where they get $27,000 a month in child support. It's not like that in the real world, Pearl. Do you understand how expensive one child is? Why do you think people aren't having children like they used to? Because of how expensive it is. We can barely put gas in our fucking cars, if you can even afford a car, let alone put food and raise a child. Are you kidding me? We can barely pay our bills, the basic necessities. We can barely pay the rent, let alone having a child and raising it. What? Are you stupid? What kind of fantasy world is this bitch living in? Good God.
Like, you know, for example, child support, alimony, I'm not really a fan of those.
She makes it clear that she wants as many legal hurdles as possible to discourage a divorce, even when there is one-sided abuse happening. But Pearl lives in a fantasy world where wives are leaving their families in droves for financial gain, completely ignoring the copious number of studies that show, actually, most women on average end up in a worse financial position after divorce compared to men.
The reason I think women leave more is because we're incentivized to do so to the point we're paid. They're paying women to leave.
Again, if you're gonna say...
Nobody's paying women to leave. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. No, they're not. Shut up.
Something so extreme, you better be ready to defend it. But as Pearl has shown time and time again, she just isn't able to do that.
But they want to make it like more horrible so that they can control people.
So in what way was slavery made to seem more horrible than it was?
We were talking about... I don't really want to go into this too much.
Yeah, I bet you fucking don't. But just wait though, because Ethan doesn't let up, twisting the knife and forcing her to confront her own statements on slavery.
Oh, so do you agree with that premise that slavery was embellished, or no?
I think that there are parts that are under embellished and there are parts that are over embellished. I think it just depends what we're talking about.
That's so interesting. I've got to know what was over embellished about slavery. Just like one example, I'm dying to know.
You can just feel the tension in the air. Pearl has got to be regretting every life choice she's made up until this moment. I mean, just look at her face and look at Ethan's face. He knows he got her. Pearl squirms around the question a bit longer, trying to get out of it by pivoting to the book she read.
Yeah, I just rather, I mean, I was talking about a book that I read.
But unable to wiggle out of the hole she dug for herself, she resorts to calling foul play in a desperate move to make Ethan seem disingenuous, when in reality, all he's done is use her own words against her.
Exactly. Yeah, she can't even answer the question. Absolutely. It's an Ethan W. Ethan W. in the chat. I don't mind it, okay? Because he deserves this W. Honestly. He deserved the W. I'm surprised she even went on the show.
I'd rather not get into this, so I'd really just rather not.
Okay. No, but slavery being embellished, that's so interesting.
There are certain facts that we're not allowed to talk about.
Like what?
Yeah. I was kind of hoping this was like a good faith interview.
Okay, she just said parts of slavery were over-embellished in this very discussion. The only person she has to blame here is herself. Ethan is apparently acting in such bad faith that he literally gives her an opportunity to disavow what she just said. And even then, she can't do it. She can't do it. I don't know why.
Just disavow it.
I know why, because she's dumb. And she wants those people to validate her so much, she will say anything. She just wants the money. She's a grifter.
But then, just say, I don't think slavery was embellished. I mean, that's super easy. That's like a layup. Do you agree? You know what I mean?
I think there are certain facts that you're not allowed to talk about. I don't really want to talk about it today. Again, there are certain facts you're not allowed to talk about, and I don't really feel like getting into it today.
She can't simply admit that slavery wasn't over-embellished because she's a pandering hack who has to rely on the support of socially inept, brain-dead anti-Semites who will drop her the second it becomes convenient. That's why she's so careful with her words here. It's pathetic.
I'm communicating in the interview that I'm quoting an author.
Thomas Sowell compared Barack Obama to Adolf Hitler. Do you like that analogy? That's the author you're quoting.
Every time she tries to deflect to Thomas Sowell, there's a litany of things he has written that you can use as an example to discredit him. So even when Pearl is trying to shirk accountability, she still gets questioned for even listening to this guy in the first place.
You also said George Washington was viewed from his slaves like a father. Did you say that?
I don't remember. I think like if someone's a great and powerful man in history to the point like they're talking about him hundreds of years later.
Did he own slaves? George Washington?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, no romance to me. I'm just saying.
No, his slaves actually, like, he had a really good relationship with them, and they considered him like a dad.
Oh, dear God. Yeah, they considered him such like a dad so much that, do you know that he used his slaves' own teeth as replacement teeth of his own? He didn't always have wooden teeth. He would literally use the teeth of his slaves. But that's what fathers do, right? That's what fathers do. Just saying. Yeah, they literally tried to run away multiple times. Exactly. Like, bro.
I used to read actual slave accounts, and I was surprised how many didn't say bad things about their owners after they were free.
It's gotta be so fun being Pearl, to just consume a bunch of writings and not consider the broader context of them whatsoever. If only we had a term to describe what happens when those kept hostage develop a sort of bond with the people keeping them in captivity. If only there was an explanation for that concept.
Stockholm Syndrome, played a thing. This girl's really trying to sit here and say like, yo, a lot of slaves actually love their masters because in a really fucked up psychological way, they had to learn to be able to endure.
To be able to survive. You know, the thing that you want to do for beat up women in their relationship.
Yes.
Endure.
I mean, Ethan touches on this, but what would even be the point of bringing this up in the first place, other than to downplay the severity of slavery? People have a right to be disgusted by that, Pearl.
I thought we were talking about the issues.
They are trying to talk about the issues, and
That's part of the issues, Pearl. God, she's so dumb, bro.
Ironically, you don't want to talk about what parts of slavery were embellished. You can't go into the details, probably because you know how bad it would make you look. And that doesn't mean Ethan is being disingenuous. He's trying to get to the point of what you believe, and you aren't letting him because you're a cowardly grifter at heart. This exchange is a prime example of how Pearl cannot stand the heat from her own provocative statements, which is precisely why she will not last very long in this industry. She already isn't taken seriously by those she's attempting to win over, and in the red pill community, there are no half measures. You either go all the way or you don't go anywhere. Interviewing Fuentes only to take it down and apologize isn't helping her. And then being too sheepish and embarrassed to defend herself on Ethan's show only exposes her as more of a charlatan. All she does is say things to rile people up. And I personally can't tell how much of it she believes and how much of it is just to appease Nazis. I mean, there's no other way to put it.
Yeah, no, literally. Literally, that's who she's appeasing. Just like Myron appeased those very same people when he went off about Abbott and Preach and doing his hand signs and putting on a hood and talking about Preach being an ape. He did the same exact thing. It's just even worse on Myron's end because it's his own people. Appeasing to those people.
Colleen Ballinger addresses allegations, defending herself in a 10-minute song she posted on YouTube.
We all remember where we were when Colleen Ballinger busted out the ukulele in response to grooming and pedophilia allegations in July 2023.
I feel like I can already hear the comments on this video.
Mind-blowing lyrics such as "not a groomer, just a loser," and "the only thing I've groomed is my Persian cat" left a lasting impression on all of us, if I had to guess. But none more so than Pearl, who stole Colleen's entire flow, not without adding a couple dashes of anti-Semitism and casual Holocaust denialism, of course.
Why can't we talk about the... Oh my God, that dumbass song. Lord have mercy, that dumbass song that she did, and she still don't understand what was wrong with it.
My guess is that Pearl decided to neglect showering for a couple weeks to focus on crafting a song so bad, so upfront in its content, that it's honestly more cringe than it is offensive. Just this brazen rhetoric mapped as some quirky indie song poking fun at you know who.
Why can't we talk about the... without getting kicked off of YouTube? Now, I'm not saying Hitler was a good guy, but I kinda wanna know why. What do you mean you wanna know why? What? What? What do you mean you wanna know why? Oh my God! Oh my God! What do you mean you want to know why? Google, bitch! Just Google! What the... Bro! Bro! Oh no! Oh my God! What the fuck, bro? Oh. She's crazy. She's crazy. And she wonders what was wrong with the song. She wonders what was wrong with the song. Why did Twitter suspend her account? Gee, I wonder why. I wonder why.
Now there's all these conspiracy theories, and the more they talk, I think maybe they're right.
The JQ, ladies and gentlemen, she just literally wrote a song about the JQ. And she wonders why it got taken down. She wonders why her Twitter got taken down. She literally wrote a song to the JQ. Oh my fucking God. You know what? I prefer the Toxic Gossip Train song better than this shit. Exactly. Freedom of speech doesn't mean you just can't say wild shit. Here's the freedom of speech. You can say whatever the fuck you want to say. But you have to understand, YouTube, private company, Twitter, private company, they have a TOS for a reason. Okay? And if you break their TOS, there are repercussions. Just like if you go work for a job and you break the rules at the job, you can lose your job. You can say whatever the hell you want, but there's always a repercussion to it, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah, genocidal language. So lighthearted and fun, huh, Pearl? So silly.
Exactly. I'm not trying to be rude, but why can't we talk about
The irony of asking why we can't have these conversations in a video with millions of views is pretty beautiful. Pearl certainly got whatever attention she was looking for, though, because, duh, she's entertaining Jewish conspiracy theories. Obviously, the pushback to that is going to be massive and well-deserved. But once again, I guess she couldn't stand the heat, because she quickly took it down within 24 hours.
Okay,
But that's
sorry, she took it down. I thought Twitter took it down, she took it down. That was my bad. Misinformation, fake news. Sorry. She took it down, because she got a lot of heat for it. For some reason, I thought her Twitter got suspended over it.
doesn't mean it was going to be forgotten after she deleted. Pearl wasn't going to have the easiest time wiping people's memories of it that fast, though she was stupid enough to make an appearance on Piers Morgan's talk show,
I still cannot believe that Piers Morgan Piers Morgan was literally the one with the brain in the room. Like, Piers Morgan, of all people, he was the adult. And I could not believe it. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it.
Following day.
This week, she's facing a major backlash for posting a song titled Why Can't We Talk About the Jews, which she dedicated to far-right commentator Nick Fuentes before later deleting it.
And just so we're completely clear, this wasn't Pearl's first rodeo. She had been a guest on Pierce's show a number of times at this point. But back then, it was all fun and games for Pearl. She had a blast spouting off whatever garbage she thought was funny at the time because Pierce never really got in the way. He may have disagreed, but he never really held her accountable for anything on a serious level. So Pearl definitely had her guard down by the time she walked into her third appearance to discuss the elephant in the room. Although the way she reacts to her song being played live on air makes me wonder if she even knew what they'd be discussing here at all. I mean, she looks betrayed, like she had no idea they'd be bringing this up. But I can tell you for absolute certain, she hardly expected Pierce to react the way he did.
Then I wake up the other day and I see this thing that's trending involving you doing this song. And I couldn't really believe what I was watching. I didn't know, why did you find it funny?
Huh?
Did you find it funny? I mean, you know the backlash to it. I mean, you deleted it, you obviously thought you shouldn't have posted it.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you do that? Genuine question.
Oh my god, it hurts. It hurts to fucking watch. The little she gives, it kills me every time. This is the face of a woman who...
I love me some Jay Aubrey after this video. Like, I liked Jay Aubrey before, but I really like Jay Aubrey now.
Just realized she has to defend a song called Why We Can't Talk About the Jews on national television to the founder of End Jew Hatred and an audience of 1 million people. This is the face of someone who royally fucked up.
Why did you do that? Genuine question.
I mean, the point was more about cancel culture and people getting kicked off of social media if you finished the song. It was more about, like, you can't talk about this topic.
Ma'am, you literally said you want to know why Hitler was a bad guy. Ma'am. Ma'am. I feel like I'm going to get hate comments when this uploads to Rumble for some reason. I feel like hate comments are coming my way just for saying that. Because this is going to upload to Rumble. Lord have mercy. Woo! That's going to be fun. Oh, God. Can you... Oh, shit. You're gonna get your ass chewed over there. You know I am. That's okay, though. That's all right. That's all right. Engagement. Engagement. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Oh, my God.
Without being canceled by the left and the right. I don't really have a strong opinion either way. It was kind of just like tongue-in-cheek.
But just to be clear, what are the conspiracy theories surrounding Hitler, which you feel the more you hear them, the more you're interested in them?
Well, I don't know because I can't hear them.
Huh? You know the ones that Nick Fuentes.
Well, I wasn't even talking about Nick.
Despite my issues with him, Pierce does a pretty effective job impressing Pearl on some of the vagueness in her language here. Like, what conversation is she wanting to have exactly? What about the Holocaust can we not talk about?
But we can't even have the conversation.
What is the conversation you want to have?
Without being canceled by the left and the right. The point is any speech. I think
it's not any speech. It's not any speech. What is the conversation about Hitler and conspiracy theories and the Holocaust that you want to have?
I don't want to have any conversation. My lane is feminism. That's what
you're singing about Adolf Hitler.
Well, then what'd you sing about it for then, dummy? What were you singing about then, dummy?
Can I finish?
Yeah, but you are singing about Hitler.
Also, maybe I'm crazy or something, but not having a strong opinion on Hitler is still kind of having an opinion on Hitler.
Yeah.
I don't really have a strong opinion either way.
I'm all for nuance, but there are some topics that are just black and white.
Anybody that wants to speak on social media to be able to speak about what they want to talk about
Holocaust
without
denial.
getting banned, whatever they want to talk about.
Including Holocaust denial.
If they want to talk about that, as long as they're not inciting violence.
Her own position on this contradicts itself. She believes you should be able to say whatever you want on social media unless it incites violence. But I would argue Jewish conspiracies have historically incited pretty much exactly that, so she's just full of shit. Pearl knows damn well the song was never about having honest conversations. Even deeper into this discussion, you can tell she isn't taking any of it seriously.
She thinks women shouldn't vote, women shouldn't have the right to divorce. She thinks that women should be...
Who the f wants to listen to this?
Like she's cool. Like you think... Oh, God. Oh, God. Pearl. Oh, my God. Pearl.
Anyway, it's just so juvenile and annoying. The thing about Pearl that she clearly doesn't seem to realize is that she is able to say just about whatever she wants online. She can have whatever gross conversations she desires, but the consequences are a whole different story. It's the consequences Pearl isn't willing to deal with. She can't handle the repercussions of her own statements, which is why she went on an embarrassing multi-tweet cry fest about Piers Morgan after the show.
Yes, because she thinks that she can spew out whatever she wants to say and nobody call her out on her shit. She honestly believes that she is untouchable. She has lost her damn mind. As long as she has a platform and I have a platform, I'm always going to call her out on her shit. I'm always going to do it. I'm always going to call her out on her shit. Always. Always, always, always. As long as I'm breathing.
Why does Piers Morgan believe in censorship with a platform called Uncensored? Hashtag when uncensored becomes censored. You did an incredibly stupid thing with your now deleted Hitler video. As I said to you after our interview, own your mistake and apologize for the offense you caused Jews. Or ignore my advice and be condemned as Kanye was for pulling similar anti-Semitic stunts. Your choice. Apologize to the woke mob or be deplatformed like Kanye.
Pigeon salad for 10. That cool kids table only continues to scoot further and further away from her. People like her should realize freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom from criticism. Exactly. Because you know what? Freedom of speech works both ways. If you say something, I have the right to say something back. Period. Point blank. Period. Thank you for the 10, Pigeon Salad.
Is that a threat? She said to thunderous applause. I'm still waiting on my questions about freedom of speech. Piers Morgan team also told me I couldn't go on the show to discuss other topics if I didn't do this general discussion around free speech. Whops. I wish I could emphasize into words just how many times they told me and my assistant they were trying to build a relationship and not an attack. Piers is on your side. He believes in freedom of speech. Is that fair, honest journalism? They set up their guests and lied to me about who I was debating till right before and falsely defamed me as anti-Semitic. I'm not anti-Semitic, but the word but should never come after a statement.
Okay. Yes. When you say something like that and you put a but in front of it, guess what the but does? It negates the first part of the sentence. It negates. That's like somebody saying, I'm sorry, but. Well, that but negates the I'm sorry. It's simple. That but negates that I'm sorry. So with her writing that and saying but, she's negating the first part of that sentence. Yeah, exactly, Natanya. Exactly. You hear that a lot too. Yeah.
Like that, by the way. I believe in the right to have all conversational online, no matter how offensive. But Pearl really isn't as committed to having these conversationals as she may claim to be. Pearl just wants us to give her arguments validity without actually challenging them. She doesn't want to be put in a position to defend herself. She just wants a platform to spew harmful narratives with no pushback. She's created a safe space for her and her viewers to be as virally misogynistic and anti-Semitic as they want. Mind you, her original video was met with wide positive reception before she deleted it. And she only deleted it because she didn't want to have a conversation about it. Literally.
Then she shouldn't have put it up. Because everybody remembers it. What's up, Eve?
According to her, she didn't want to deal with the headache.
So you clearly felt bad about what you'd put up, or you wouldn't have deleted it. You accept that?
No.
You don't accept it?
I just, it's kind of a headache. I was like, well, it just seems like a lot of headache to me.
Right. Why even become a controversial media personality who claims to embrace free and honest discussions about taboo subjects in the first place then? If you don't want criticism, then don't engage. Though as Pearl has stated, her ultimate goal is to create her very own talk show network, the Audacity Network, to function as the Fox News of YouTube, which I think we can all agree is a pretty solid premise. I mean, she already sounds like Fox.
Invest in gold with Noble Asset Investments. You will also get a 24-karat quarter-ounce gold standard coin for free.
I'm going to do something completely revolutionary. I've always known that this is something God has called me to do.
Oh God, do not put in Sky Daddy. Nobody gives a fuck about your Sky Daddy. No one gives a fuck about your Sky Daddy. I do not care. Okay? I do not care. You lost me at that. Once you put Sky Daddy into it, you lost me in a conversation. I swear to God. I swear to God. You put in Sky Daddy in a serious conversation, you have lost me. You have completely lost me. At that point, I'm checking out of the conversation. God has left the chat. 100%.
The Audacity Network will make media for children, movies, etc. We will make alternatives for people that are sick of this woke bullshit. fact, media is not going anywhere. We should at least have media we can show our children that isn't woke and leftist. The investors we have are insane. There is a demand for a network that believes in gender roles, that believes in truth, a network that actually has the audacity. The Audacity Network will be bigger than Talk TV, mark my words. I'm building the best team in the country right now. You will not be able to stop us. Maybe the first network that exclusive pays in Bitcoin. Banger idea, Pearl. I'm sure that couldn't go wrong. The Audacity Network is going to be an openly Catholic network that promotes freedom of speech. No talent is...
And guess what? So far, she's got 2 women in it. No, I think there's a dude too. But 2 women. Makes no goddamn sense. Makes no goddamn sense.
Is welcome that goes against what we stand for. Okay, the Audacity Network is going to be the biggest network on the planet. It's going to rival mainstream media in 10 years, mark my words, which is something I'm personally very much looking forward to. We'll get to watch the Audacity Network build themselves up from under 2,000 subscribers and 0 videos to a massive media powerhouse that rivals Fox and CNN. In fact, she's already signed her first talent. Talent might be a strong word, but she signed this person.
This year, I started...
He's like, talent might be a strong word, but she signed this person. He's so shady.
A network. And what the network is it kind of like, the way I saw it was sort of like a TV network, but on YouTube, where we have different shows that we host and different... I'm just a really creative person.
I mean, if anyone can make it work, it's Pearl. She can almost count to 100, so of course she knows how to build a media empire from the ground up. I just hope she doesn't alienate all of her future business partners like she's done in the past.
Cloudy, thank you for joining the Just Saying squad. I appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, listen to this. Now, this happened. What he's getting ready to talk about. Okay, yes. All right, so what he is getting ready to talk about is when she was canceled by the Black Manosphere because of that Nick Fuentes interview. That's when this right here, what he's about to talk about, happened. And it was eye-opening for a lot of people about her.
I'm making this video today. I didn't.
Miss Susie is in this chat saying, they say God doesn't make mistakes. Well, Pearl exists. Oh my God, Miss Susie. You are being... My husband just laughed at that. He thought that was funny. You are being a shady lady, Miss Susie. Shady lady. Ma'am. Shady lady. I love it. I respect it.
Initially want to make. But there comes a time when we're all at a crossroad and have to make a decision.
Sarah Garvey is an independent influencer who runs in similar circles as Pearl. Eventually, he became the co-host of her show, The Pregame, after she relocated from Chicago to London. Garvey helped Pearl build a brand from the beginning. He played an active role in much of her content and considered her a friend up until March 2023, when he published this video accusing her of underpaying the people she signed to her network. Her previous one, not the Audacity Network, which hasn't really even launched yet. Now, Garvey was never signed to Pearl himself, but they were in talks for him to potentially develop a daily topical news segment for her show. This would involve a contract. The arrangement they discussed meant that Garvey would show up to her studio 4 times a week and work from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., so about 40 hours per week. When asked about payment, Pearl supposedly told Garvey they'd split his ad revenue 70-30. That is 30% to Garvey and 70% to Pearl.
I be goddamn. Even if I go to your studio and use your equipment and put the videos made from there on my channel, I'll be goddamn if I'm giving you 70% of my revenue. Literally. There is no way. There is absolutely no way I'm doing that.
I said to her, okay, so what is my guaranteed fee at the end of the month? What is the salary? And she looks at me and she says, we do not do guarantees and we do not do salaries. She said she does percentages. So I said, okay, cool. Well, what's the percentage? She said, Sarah, you're the high end, so you will get 70-30. So I said, fine, okay, let me listen. 70% goes to me and 30% goes to you. Now she looked at me and she said, no, 70% goes to me, Pearl, and 30% goes to me, Sarah Garvey.
That's right.
There's no damn way. There's no damn way. I'm not putting in the work to only get 70% of my damn channel. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Cost of using Pearl Studio is apparently worth 70% of your channel's ad.
Oh, Natanya, it gets worse. She was trying to fuck him over. It gets worse, Natanya, watch. It gets worse.
Revenue for 3 years, and that was her premium deal too. The contracts she gave other creators are alleged to be even more predatory. According to Garvey, the 2 other influencers signed to Pearl's network were only seeing 20% of the money they generated at most, while Pearl raked in the remaining 80%.
20%. The other people only got 20%. She was getting 80% from their channels. That's crazy. That's worse than an MCN. That is absolutely worse. That is predatory. That is a predatory practice right there. 80% of their revenue. Yeah, that's dirty as fuck. Absolutely.
I shouldn't have to tell you how blatantly wrong that ratio is.
And I said, hang on a minute. So are you telling me that's a high-end contract for you? She said, yes. I said, what's the low end? She said it's 10 to 15%. So
10 to 15%? I wish I would. I'll be damned. Oh, hell no. Mm-mm. No, thank you. No, thank you. Yeah, that's worse than Defy Media. Yes, 100%. 100%.
So essentially, she could be owning 80% of the content, the monetized views.
Exactly, Trippy Savage. She's trying to be a pimp. Yes. Yes. That is pimp wages right there. That's literally pimp percentage right there. That's crazy. 90%, 85%. That's pimp wages.
On somebody's channel, and they only take home 15% of the money. She said yes.
This caused an immediate rift within the manosphere, triggering Pearl's other co-host by the name of Auntie Jenny to respond to Garvey that same day. Being one of the 2 creators he alleged was signed to Pearl's 80-20 split, I was excited to hear her perspective.
I cannot stand Aunt Jenny. I cannot stand Aunt Jenny. Ugh.
But most of this video is just her making personal
And fun fact, Aunt Jenny was a mechanic also.
attacks against Garvey for wearing cheap shoes.
You're bad-minded and you're bitter. You sound sad and bitter. And then you know your £15 shoes. Your £15. Yes, I check because I'm that kind of person. I looked inside and I saw Primark. I don't do this because I need the money. I do it because I've got nothing better to do because I'm retired.
I guess Jenny's point of view is that she's retired, so she doesn't care about the revenue split, but it still doesn't make it any less of an outrageous contract. Garvey still has a right to find his offer incredibly unreasonable. If you can't afford to pay people a decent wage, maybe don't hire them. Or just ask your millionaire daddy for a bigger allowance next month. Pearl made sure to respond to Garvey's accusations herself, not on her own platform, of course, but in this interview on a completely different person's channel.
A lot of times people don't understand the cost that goes into the back end of like running one of these things.
She begins by explaining that it's expensive to run a company, which nobody was ever denying. It's just that you should probably not take such a massive cut of someone else's revenue for 3 consecutive years, especially when they're in person working so many hours on end for you, or sitting and doing nothing, as Pearl calls it.
You know, it's fine if you don't want to do that kind of deal. It's not for everybody, but this is for someone that just wants to sit down and do nothing and just come to work and film and not have to learn the equipment, not have to learn literally anything.
Bitch, 90% though? What? Come on, man. Come on. 90%?
I mean, just imagine if you heard your own boss talk that way about you. Turns out Pearl may be just as bad of a boss as she is a person.
I could come up on here and put some personal stuff about him if I wanted to. You know, that certainly would not make him look good. But like, I'm just not gonna do that.
Why did he turn against you?
I've just found that the bigger I get, it's just like people kind of turn when they see an opportunity to like make money or...
What an entitled, narcissistic response to that question. He turned around and left when he realized he could be doing better without you. You are the one pushing people away, Pearl.
I'm looking for people that like, I worked a year and a half for free because I just wanted it. You know what a predatory deal is? A predatory deal is a 7-year contract.
So
oh, wait a minute. Oh, Miss Pearl. Oh, Miss Pearl. Hold on.
You are the one pushing people away, Pearl.
I'm looking for people that like, I worked a year and a half for free because I just wanted it.
She worked for a year and a half for free, right? Okay, yeah. When you start your YouTube channel, you're not making money, you're doing your thing, right? You know who put her on? Soren Garvey. He put her on. The one that she wanted to take 70% from and give him the high end of 30% of his own fucking channel. He put her on and helped her grow her channel for free.
You know what a predatory deal is? A predatory deal is a 7-year contract.
So the time limit is what solely determines what's predatory? Whether it's 3 years or 7 years, it's still too long to adhere to such an unbalanced revenue split. Once again, you're avoiding the point of contention.
Every person that I have is making more than they made before. So it's like, it's just really frustrating.
Well, you know what I tell you all the time. Fuck the bullshit, stay above it, and get back to fucking work. Do the thing that you are talented at.
Yeah, the rest of this video is just this guy giving her advice that includes making her employees sign NDAs next time so they can't speak out at all.
Make these people sign to where they can't talk about the terms of the contract.
Listen, Jada Take has a contract. Jada Take signed an NDA. Don't believe me? Ask her. No, I'm just kidding. I can see myself trying to send Jada an NDA. She would cuss me out if I tried to send her an NDA. She would absolutely cuss me out going, bitch, what?
If they want to get into contract negotiations with you in the first place, learn from your mistakes and then go from there.
But the part that confuses me is that while Pearl maintains that these allegations from Garvey are false, she still admits that, well, the deal isn't for everybody. You don't have to take it if you don't want to. So are these claims about the revenue split made up or not? Why can't you address that head on, Pearl? Because apparently Garvey's remarks were so defamatory, you told Insider you were contemplating legal action. Probably because the false copyright strikes against this channel didn't work. Yep.
She gave him 3 false copyright strikes because she was angry that he was talking. He almost lost his channel because of her. That's right, people. She's a false claimer. You make her mad, she'll go straight to YouTube with some bullshit. Oh yeah, he almost lost his channel. He was very close to losing his channel because of her. And remember, that was the guy. This guy right here was the one that put her on and helped her. And that's how she repaid him. Oh, she pulled an Anision. Yes. Yes, she did. She absolutely did. And he almost lost his whole channel because of her. Now, granted, I'm not a fan of his at all because he's in the manosphere and he talks some shit on women that I can't stand. But she still falsely copyright struck him. And he almost lost everything because she decided she wanted to be petty. Because somebody was pushing back against her.
That's another fun thing Pearl likes to do, is silence her opponents by abusing the YouTube copyright system when nothing else is working. Not only is this a shameful, last-ditch resort when you're completely out of moves to make, but it's also very much against YouTube's guidelines. But I wonder if Pearl is even aware of that. I guess all will be revealed in court one day, supposedly, but by that point, it's hard to say if enough people will still care about Pearl at all.
But I want to say one thing. Pearl will disappear.
Yes.
She will disappear, like many others before her, because this is something that's just a moment in time. She's like a train wreck. It's like a car crash.
Yes.
You know, for example, you know you shouldn't be looking at it, but you can't take your eyes off it.
Preach. You know what? We're going to listen to that one more time because she is 100% correct.
Pearl at all.
But I want to say one thing. Pearl will disappear. She will disappear, like many others before her, because this is something that's just a moment in time. She's like a train wreck. It's like a car crash. You know, for example, you know you shouldn't be looking at it, but you can't take your eyes off it.
Period.
Fame that she has amassed so far is really pretty shallow in the sense that Pearl's viewers only come for her talking points, not so much for Pearl herself. Her overnight success can be mostly attributed to the luck she's had in milking YouTube shorts, but her actual ability to cultivate a grassroots community of people who care about Pearl as an individual is pretty much non-existent. I mean, she doesn't say anything inspiring or insightful. She only appeals to hatred
and she doesn't have a fucking personality. She barely inflects her voice. She doesn't even have a personality. She's monotone as fuck.
anger. The rotating door of controversial influencers has seen countless versions of Pearl come and go over the years, none of them really leaving any meaningful impact beyond whatever shitstorm they managed to kick up before their timer inevitably runs out. While her status as a reactionary darling may one day dwindle, the damage she inflicts upon her reputation now will never be restored. We've seen Pearl hit this realization a few times. When her closest friends began leaving her behind, when Ethan Klein held her feet to the fire, and when Piers Morgan humiliated her live in front of—
Think about it. Piers Morgan and Ethan Klein were the people with brains in the room. How sad is that when you are so fucked up that Ethan Klein and Piers Morgan got a W on you? Imagine how bad that is. Think about it. Imagine how bad that is. Piers Morgan and Ethan Klein got a W on you. Holy shit. Like, bro. Chesslock said they just acted like reasonable, normal human, but now Pearl is too detached from reality and how people generally act. True. Exactly, Ben. How?
of the mainstream audience. All of these instances, mind you, have been a direct result of Pearl pandering to a community of losers who will absolutely turn on her the second she accidentally says something they don't like.
Okay, now, here's a conspiracy theory from me. All right, what he just said is exactly what I think.
Mainstream audience. All of these instances, mind you, have been a direct result of Pearl pandering to a community of losers who will absolutely turn on her the second she accidentally says something they don't like.
You kind of saw it with Sneeko one day on Twitter. She had quote tweeted Sneeko and agreed with him about something. I can't remember what it was. And Sneeko went under her tweet and go, women should shut up or something like that. I think they still have Pearl in their audience because she's going to be the fall guy. I think she is literally setting herself up to be the fall guy. Because when all this because to me, this red pill shit is kind of like a fad as far as like everybody talking about them, et cetera, et cetera. They'll always be around, but like how big it's gotten is a fucking fad. All right. I think what's going to happen when it all starts tearing down, and it's starting to because people are starting to drift away from it, she's going to be the fall guy. They're going to throw her under the bus. And she's going to find out rather quickly what it's like being told directly to your face the shit she's been spewing. Because eventually they're going to make her say, they're going to tell her, you need to shut up. You're a woman. You need to go back to the kitchen. Why are you almost 30 and not married? They're going to turn on her. And it's going to be fucking glorious. And I'm going to dance on that grave. I'm going to tell you now. I'm going to be petty as fuck when that happens. I absolutely am. I'm going to be petty as hell. I am going to dance all over that grave when it happens. Gloriously.
Pearl has spent the entire past few years of her life tearing others down in order to lift herself up, positing herself as one of the few good women left in society. But that strategy can only take her so far, because what happens when your audience begins to see through the hypocrisy of your own existence? Pearl doesn't live a life anywhere close to the one she expects from other women. She's unmarried, she isn't a virgin, she's hardly experienced or knowledgeable in any of the issues she engages in. She isn't built to last in the industry she's so confidently poured so much time and effort into. But I'm afraid that sooner or later, she will be forced to accept that her choices come with inescapable consequences. Pearl has made her bed, and now she has no choice but to lay in it. Assuming she can never finish building it.
That was an awesome video. He did really, really good in this video. And he touched on subjects that a lot of people haven't touched on, and it was really good. It was very, very good. Keep on keeping on. 100%. 100%. So. Whew. Okay. Any questions or statements or anything before we get out of here? We've been here almost 3 hours now. Yeah, it was. It was good at midnight. Yeah, Eve, you missed most of it. I'll be putting timestamps soon and stuff like that. I gotta do some things after I get off here, but it'll be all the timestamps and stuff like that will be put up tonight. Yes, will Pearl ever find a man? Oh, I'm sure she will. I'm sure somebody wouldn't mind her used up ass, as she likes to put it. You know, because if you're a woman and you're not a virgin, you're used. You're used up. So I'm sure somebody will find her used up ass. Somebody will want that. I love onion rings. Onion rings are amazing. Are you streaming tonight? Midna, I just streamed. What are you talking about? What? I wasn't saying anything. Shadow humor, whatever. You're trolling. I don't give a fuck what you're saying. Oh, I said I might do 2 streams. I was going to do one earlier, but I forgot I had to run to my mom's house, so I wasn't able to do a second stream. I was supposed to do one. I wanted to do one like around 10, 11, 12, but I forgot I had to go to my mom's house, so. And I went and spent time with my mom. Sage says, I knew she had some extreme views, but I didn't realize it was that bad. Yeah, it's bad. And the incels that watch her, they eat that shit up. It's amazing how much they eat it up. I just took my medicine, Amber. So. Alright guys, well I'm going to get out of here. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for the donation. Thank you for the new memberships. I appreciate it. And hopefully I go live either tomorrow before we go live on the broadcast or after we go live at the broadcast. Oh, and don't forget, hold on. Don't forget, new merch to go up against Just Pearly Things. Women should vote, just not Pearly Things. Bam. And bam. Even got stickers. Look at that. Look at that. Because you know what? If Just Pearly Things can do it, I can do it too. Just saying. Just saying. All right, y'all. Y'all have a great night, and always remember, keep it real. Bye.
Ain't no motherfucker in this world could do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself, in my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you wanna taste, bitch, you can fucking try me. If you wanna hate, bitch, you know where to find me. And if you go and hate this, you can fucking bite me. I'll be cruising in my lane fast, call it high speed. I've been working hard, yeah, I've been working nightly. If you think you'll win, ha, not fucking likely. I be taking shots, yeah, cold-blooded, icy. Watching numbers grow is what I call sightseeing. In the front row, run it up when they hype me. The following grows, they know how to ignite me. Call me CEO, I've been running shit right, see. And I ain't playing games, I create my own lane, making pleasure out of pain, turning losses into gains, I'm the boss, I'm making change. I've been rocking this exchange, popping off and risking things, gonna make a fucking name. I just wanna be famous, but I don't want that cheap fame. No, I'm not that vain, I just wanna be greatness. 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 Ain't no motherfucker in this world could do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself, in my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you wanna taste, bitch, you can fucking try me. If you wanna hate, bitch, you know where to find me. And if you go and hate going off every chance I get. I don't really take a loss, well, I'll admit. That's why I'll make it to the top, yeah, I commit. And no, I'm never getting lost, I get after it. Investing in my own stock, cause it's faster than any crypto hits go, let me spend. Everything that you see is something I invent. And it's only a percent. I'm gonna take shots. If I miss all, forget it. I'll take a fat loss just to learn all that's in it. I'm taking snapshots, learning how to fall and get it. I'm getting back up, always stand tall, don't sweat it. I never back up, I don't miss a thing or regret it. I'm always learning, you could call me academic. I'm always working, never been apathetic. That energy is like a poison, needs a antiseptic.